ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Tuesday Night Murder Church. Get in here. Welcome in. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it. Give this stream a like, share it out, let folks know that you are hanging out here with Publicly Buzzed here tonight for an episode 17 of the Phil Spector murder trial on Murder Church. We've made it into Tuesday. We're trying to get into Wednesday. I'm about to hit you guys. Let's go.
Let's rock.
I need a Navy grog pronto. All right, who here can get me a Navy? Can you please get me a Navy grog? I need one right now. I need one instantly. If there isn't one on my table in the next 5 minutes, and that's actually giving you a lot of time, then I'm going to be a very difficult customer. What's up, everybody? I got access to an official Phil Spector wig. Okay, this is an official Phil Spector wig that I am wearing upon my head. I know, I probably shouldn't even be wearing it. I shouldn't be even putting it on my head, but no. I said I gotta try this son of a bitch out. I gotta see, why is Phil Spector rocking the... Well, yeah, I know why he's rocking him, because he's got a freaking skullet, because he's bald as hell. What's up, everybody? Get in here. Thank y'all for coming in. Oh, shit, let me get the chat in here. Hold on. Tuesday night murder church. Boom. Got a lot to talk about. Got a lot going on this week, and let's see if this is working. Boom. Bassett Page, what's up? New name. I know that they subbed up. Welcome in here. I think they were on the last murder church. Where's the pickles? Laura's in the house. What's up? Shannon, Kelly, what's happening? CH, got the Navy Grogs in the chat. Everybody, if you can drop those Navy Grogs in the chat, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful, actually. Dizzy in the house. Dizzy hanging and banging, baby, huh?
Hanging and banging.
Not messing around. City Kitty, what's up? Drew, my man, what's up? And don't forget the bells. Drew on top of it here tonight. Hell yes. Holly Berry, what's up? Shannon, what's going on? We got a full house. We got a full fucking crew. Sarah, what's up? What ended up happening with Dr. Lee? Please do a quick previously on. Oh my God, I'd have to honestly go back and remember. Oh yeah, he was extremely shady. Dr. Lee was shady as fuck, man. Actually, you should honestly go back and watch the Dr. Lee testimony at the end of last week's episode. We also went over in depth why he sucks. And thanks Disney Nerd for sending me that information. We went over a few different things and why he is no longer a respected individual of the scientific community. Where's the pickles? I think I already said that. What's going on? Everybody, yeah, I see everybody hanging me. Todd up there, I see you. What's up? If you have not yet, please hit the old like. That really helps me out, helps us out here at Publicly Buzzed. I appreciate it. I've been seeing a lot of shirts getting delivered. I got a tweet from Miss Dina where she was rocking the fuck out of the new Kool-Aid shirt. Drink the Kool-Aid, join the cult shirt. And it was fucking awesome. Anybody that gets any shirts, send me pictures. I'm gonna make a collage and do something with those. The will is in play here tonight as well. I need to look and see exactly where we're at from the last episode, but the will is still out here. I know another shirt has been ordered. Sleuths Investigates. Your shirt is on the way. And then let me just take a look here real quick to see where we're at on that son of a bitch, just to see how long until we do have another spin. Just everyone is aware. The new will has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on it. So we're halfway through another spin already. 6 more names on the will do it. And one thing I want to promote, so Friday night, one thing that we're going to be doing on Friday, this Feral Friday, you're going to want to be here because it's going to impact a future episode of Feral Friday, I think the next week, actually. I go on vacation next week. And on that Friday, July the 19th, I'm doing an all-night movie marathon, my friends. And anybody that's new here that might not know, Publicly Buzzed, we don't fuck around, okay? Kick.com/publiclybuzzed. I will be having an all-night long movie marathon. This will be the 3rd official Publicly Buzzed movie marathon. I had a Halloween one. I had a New Year's party. And this one is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have a vote party on this Feral Friday because I need to figure out exactly what we're going to be showing. And I'm not going to give exactly what the There's going to be a lot of genres. It's going to be a giant pool of genres, first of all. But I will have also the option of a mix. So, yeah, we're going to see exactly what's happened. Whether we're watching one genre, a mix of genres, we're going to find out on Feral Friday. So please come through. It's going to be a vote. Anybody that's not been to these hairs are getting all up in my eyes. Anybody that has not seen a voting episode, which is previously it's been basically to pick a new trial here on Murder Church. It's fun as hell. And this is going to be extra fun because it's going to be some pop culture, some entertainment going on. Yeah. Woo! This thing came in the mail today. I was like, that's perfect freaking timing. And before we go any further, let me just get the bells out of the way before I freaking forget about them, Drew. Thank you so much. The bells is how we officially start church. If anybody did not know that. If anybody could also go to X, go to Twitter, and tweet out, retweet, resend, whatever, that post that I made tonight for Murder Church and hyping it up, I would really freaking appreciate that. That always helps, guys. Yeah, thanks everyone. And holy shit, oh my God, let me go up here and see who else is getting on here. Thanks, Pastor Steve. Got excuse me. I've said this enough times. Aspiring court reporter Sarah rocking out in here and giving me the $4.99 to get on that wheel, and no problem at all. But I would say that was actually one of the most interesting episodes. Was the last part of the last one with Dr. Lee. He's a squirmy individual, and you can even feel that vibe on the stand. And I don't think the judge liked him very much either. And I know that Alan Jackson didn't like him. So let me put you on here real quick so I don't forget, because I've got a feeling we're going to get a spin here tonight. I've got it a feeling in my bones, everybody. Put this up here. Boom. Super, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Who's underneath? Who's coming through? Who also coming through here? Kelly Hill. Kelly Hill, baby, won't know that thing. Get in here, Kelly Hill, with the laugh. I'm sure she's laughing at my ridiculous hair right now, or should I say Phil Spector's official hair that I have exclusive rights to, at least for the next little bit. I've worked that out through Murder Church, through some channels that, maybe we shouldn't discuss here, but it is an official wig. I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, no, that's a ginger wig. I never saw. He had a lot of wigs. He had a mountain of wigs. Honestly, I'm putting you in here right now. And also, folks, don't forget, I'll be checking periodically through the show for Venmos, Cash Apps, PayPal, so I don't lose anybody on the wheel, quite frankly. And those usually come through as well right here. Boom. Thank you so much, Kelly Hill. Appreciate that. Let me throw some love while we're out of here. Hold on.
I'm sober enough
Wrong one,
to know what I'm
that's a
doing,
good one, actually.
and I'm drunk enough to really
And
enjoy
it fits
doing
better
it.
than you know. Fits better than you know. And Laura coming through here with the $1.99. July 19th is now the most important date. Yes. Yes. That is awesome. That's going to be fun. It's going to be shit. It's going to be fucking dope is what it's going to be. I'm excited as hell. And Laura, let me get you on here real quick. I appreciate you coming through here with the love. Yeah. Murder Church. Boom. So that's, let me see, am I missing any more? I don't think so. That's 3 more on there. See, we're about 3 names now, baby. Murder Church Grogs, a CRX girl rolling in here also. A past shirt winner from the Will. Simi Sharp's rocking in here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, tell a friend to let them know about the old Murder Church. As we, right now, we're going into, holy shit. Okay, let me calm down here for just a second, because part 5 of Adriano de Souza's testimony as he continues here, and I'm going to actually peek down here real quick. We're on video 49. Holy shit, we've been trucking, boys and girls. Oh my God, there's a part 6, a part 7, a part 8. All right, we're going to be with the limo, or the driver. I don't think it was a limo, but we're going to be with the driver for quite a little bit longer, and at least for the rest of this episode of Murder Church, and maybe even into some of Sunday's Murder Church. And I will say this also. I've got some things planned out. Thursday night's going to be a regular episode. Dan should be here 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Feral Friday this week is going to be the special vote episode, so make sure you do not miss it if you want to have your voices heard about what movies we will be watching in about a week and a half. And then Saturday night, I have a really cool stream planned out. I'm going to be doing an Alec Baldwin exclusive stream. I'm going to be having 3 different channels on here. Some different creators that are going to be coming on and hanging out with me. Hanging and banging, if you will. Hanging and banging. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk Alec Baldwin and the trial that it starts tomorrow, or it's actually already started technically with the jury being picked. But yes, as it gets kicked off tomorrow with some opening statements, and we're going to be going in that and talk about it. So yeah, I hope everybody is ready for that as well. Let's get in here. Let's see what's happening. Let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. We're not messing around. This wig's ridiculous. Wow. Get the sound. I hear Judge Diehard already in my ear. Who is the man? If you're unfamiliar with Murder Church, welcome in. Thank you for being here. We love lurkers, and don't be afraid to chat.
Jurors, alternates, and the witness are present as heretofore. You may proceed, Mr. Bruno.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. DeSaza, I was asking you about...
Thanks for that share, brother. I see a lot of shares out here. Hell yeah. City Kitty for that share. Sarah for that share. Hell yeah. Where's the pickles? I think that was... No, Stacy. Maybe not Stacy Beth. Thank you for the share on Twitter. Clearly Sin, thank you for the share. Bassett Page, thank you for the share. And Jay, my brother from another mother, thank you all for the shares on tonight's episode. Appreciate that.
The afternoon and evening of the 2nd of February.
We're rocking.
You drove from your house to Mr. Spector's house to begin your job that night. Is that right?
Getting on that wheel right now, Kitty C. Thank you.
Throughout that evening, we know you drove to Alhambra from your residence, from Alhambra to North Hollywood, awesome. I think, or Universal City was the first stop.
That new name here for the wheel?
Yes. And back to...
possible shirt winner.
Beverly Hills.
Stick around, Kitty.
Yes.
Back to North Hollywood, or Universal City. Back to Beverly Hills.
Yes.
And then in the West Hollywood area, and then back to Alhambra.
Yes.
We're kicking back off basically where the defense is trying to say that this gentleman, maybe he doesn't, maybe he's here, maybe he shouldn't have been here. First of all, they're going down a green card type of angle. Maybe he shouldn't have even been here driving illegally. Maybe even though he called 911 and Phil Spector walked out with a gun in his hand and said, "I just shot somebody." Maybe he didn't understand that correctly. Also, maybe the language barrier is a little mixed up here. That's the angle that they're going in right now.
When you do that, you're on the freeways some of the time and on the surface streets some of the time. Is that right?
Right. Well,
yes.
And in this case, you're driving someone else's car, correct?
Yes. Get in here.
It happened to be a car you were not familiar with. Is that right?
Yes.
That was the first time you'd ever drove it that night.
I drove this kind of car before, but that one was like a long drive. Was the first time.
Okay. Is that tiring?
Fucking pathos. Thanks for the share.
You're driving all over the city like that. All those hours in either freeway traffic or on La Cienega, Sunset, those heavily congested streets. Is that tiring?
No.
That's true. He is. I say my brother from another mother to Jay, but yeah, he's also my father. That is actually true.
Between the time that you went to work and 5 in the morning, had you had any kind of a meal?
Oh, shit.
Starting 7
Also, hold on. I don't want to show that Court TV logo. Bam! We're missing wigs here. Missing wigs. Name of the witness. Boom. What am I doing here? What the hell is going on?
Until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
That's the. I had some snacks.
Well, what did you have?
Potatoes, chips, water.
Okay. Did you have anything with caffeine in it, like coffee or a cola of any kind?
Not that I remember.
When you were waiting in the car between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock, you said you were sleeping little naps.
Yeah, they asked him if he dreams in another language earlier. And actually, I was interested in that question as well, I can't lie. And so was the judge. And he just said he does dream. They didn't really kind of specify.
Naps. I assume that's because you were tired, is that right?
Yes, I was tired.
Okay. And having only had a bag of chips and some water, were you hungry?
I was hungry, a little bit hungry.
Okay. Now, the reason you park right by the rear doorway is so that if the door opens, you can hear that. Is that right?
I cannot hear very well, like the door opening.
Yes.
But I can like.
What's up? Spitfire, what's up?
if anything like move close to the door, I can see that.
Okay. Well,
Need to
you're,
roll
you're
a-
listening
roll a
for
probably
the
nothing here.
sounds of somebody saying Adriano or,
Get some probably nothings and a Navy grog in the chat.
walking up to the car. You're not only looking, you're
Never
listening.
happened. No, sorry.
I didn't hear you?
Never happened like somebody going to the car and knocking the door.
Okay, so the thing that
long as this
alerts
leg on the
you
last. That's
to
need to
the
make a
fact
poll
that
for
Mr.
that.
Spector is coming out of the house is when you see him?
Kind of.
Can we make it normal for wigs to be
Well,
like
it
hats?
depends. If I'm inside the car, and yes, I can see like if the door is open, I can like see like the movement of the door, or
Well, can you also hear sounds?
I can hear sounds.
So
Can you
the...
do you hear in the
if
English
you got
language,
your eyes
sir?
closed and you're kind of dozing, you wouldn't be able to see the door opening, would you?
If I was taking a nap, no.
Okay. So you have to be alert on your ears as well, right?
Yes.
And about 5 o'clock, you heard a pow or a poo, however you describe it, but you heard a sharp noise, is that right?
Yes, correct.
And on some level, you thought that sounded like a gunshot, right?
No, I didn't say that. I never said that.
I didn't ask
Could
you.
be anything. It was the last thing that I could like imagine happened that night.
Well, the sound you heard was a pow, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like a Navy
you
grog.
tell
I'd give it a
one
shot.
of the first officers there that you definitely
I'd
heard
imagine
the
it's not
sound
good.
of one gunshot.
like a
Do you
fancy
remember that?
No.
Your Honor, I'm going to show Mr. D'Souza a portion of the police report.
Based on what counsel has shown me, I would object as improper impeachment at this point. It doesn't appear
Jackson.
to refresh recollection.
Approach the bench.
Not a lot of approachals in this, actually. Usually just have that out right then and there.
Telling Officer Rodriguez that you definitely heard what you thought to be one gunshot?
I could say that. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Okay. Can I show him now? All right.
Yo, Carrie, what's up? This is an official
To
Phil
yourself,
Spector wig
I
that I've
want
gotten
you
my
to
hands
read
on.
the highlighted portion, starting where my pen
Channels
is,
that Murder Church
and
affiliates with.
ending right here, okay? To yourself.
He said that's
No, that's not to yourself.
Okay.
Don't talk. Have you finished reading that? Does that refresh your memory of what you told that officer?
I don't remember. Didn't refresh.
Okay. In any event, you heard a sound that startled you, right? You have to
Yes.
answer out loud. All right. And
Oh, no.
you woke up, and looked around, you figure, what was that sound, right?
Yes.
Now you don't remember thinking it was a gunshot, is that correct?
At that time, when I was in the car, the noise could be anything,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but the sound could be anything.
it couldn't be anything, it's not a...
Objection. This is
All right.
It's going to be.
It
Yeah,
was.
stop right there. Stop fucking...
In any event, it startled you, or it made you curious enough to get out of the car and look around to see what that might have been, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw she was
Before that,
pregnant, Carrie.
You hadn't heard any other sounds that
I saw that. She's
you
got a
could
new bow.
identify, had you?
Knocked her up.
No, a sound like that, no.
Okay, well, any other sound? There, nothing else had gathered your attention just before that, had it?
I don't remember.
Well, for example, if you'd have heard any yelling, arguing, that type of noise coming from the house, you didn't hear anything like that, did you?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you know you didn't,
Oh,
don't you?
my God.
I mean, when you...
Yeah, no. I don't remember that.
That's
Mr.
that's the worst
Casal,
answer
it's
for
not
him.
that you don't remember. You never.
That's an
heard
even worse
anything
answer. It
like
went
that,
from
did you?
probably to I don't know what to stop.
So you get out of the car and you're walking
You can hear the
around the
frustration with
property
the
there
defense,
to see if you can see what made that sound. Is that right?
Yes.
And were you concerned that it might have been some person had made that sound or caused that sound?
No, at that point, no.
Let's
did
get
you
in
think
here.
that there might possibly be an intruder, somebody climbed
Yes,
the wall
Gypsy
or
Rose
snuck
is
through the
pregnant,
gate?
guys.
Did you
We
think
would have
anything
not
like
seen
that?
I didn't think that.
Okay. Were you at all
Got some new
nervous
dude
as
she's
you were
with.
looking around there in the dark?
She called the other dude a frog.
It's very dark there, isn't it?
A little bit.
Well,
There's some lights outside.
I got some. There was a brief moment when she got out of
there's
prison,
tree-
and I started making some content about Gypsy Rose, and had a lot of mixed reactions from people with Gypsy Rose. They either love her or hate her.
trees and bushes and shadows, right?
Yes,
Okay. So you looked around, you couldn't see what made the sound. Is that what happened?
correct.
All right. Now,
I guess that dick wasn't.
how far did you
wasn't
go?
that
Do you
good.
remember? Did you
Wasn't
go
that
to
fire
the edge
dick?
of the house and look down that yard and then back the other way, look by the garages? And
No,
Afton,
I went,
get in here.
Around the fountain.
Now, you've described the time as being 2 to 3 minutes that you were looking around to see if you could figure out what that was.
I'm not sure about the time. It was fast.
Okay. Well, do you remember previously saying it was 2 to 3 minutes?
I don't remember. But yeah, it could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. Around 2 minutes.
Your best estimate is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you didn't see anything that
Having
you
a
believe
first right
caused the
now.
sound, did you?
I've never rolled or probably
And then
nothing in
you-
a wig before.
Got back into the car, is that right?
Correct.
And you
first?
waited there, I think you said, for a minute or two before something else happened. Is that correct?
Yes.
So from the time you heard the sound until the door opened, that was what, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that?
Around 2 minutes, 2 3 minutes. If I like looking for outside 2 minutes and they open the door like a minute. Sorry.
Around 2 or 3 minutes?
Yes, around 2 3 minutes.
Okay. All right.
Thanks,
So
Ellis. Appreciate it.
Is it 2 to 3 minutes looking around and then a minute or two in the car? Is that our time frames?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, you don't know what was going on in the house, do you?
No.
But at that point, the back door opens and you see Mr. Spector standing there, is that right?
Yes.
And he's dressed as you had seen him earlier in the evening, correct?
Yes, correct.
Same white or beige jacket,
Yes.
black shirt, black pants.
Yes.
At that point, did you notice if it was buttoned, the jacket was buttoned or unbuttoned?
I don't remember.
Okay.
You want to pry on that a
Mr.
little
Spector
longer?
walked out of the back door and walked toward the edge of the porch, is that right?
Yeah, he was like, as soon as he opened the door, he wasn't at the door, under the door.
Okay. There was a diagram here the other day that showed the scene as if you were looking straight down from above, and you said that's where Mr. Spector came and stood. Was that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, to picture this, the door opens and the lights on are inside the house. The lights inside the house are on, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And
Do you understand the
there's
English language? How
some
don't you just
lights
fuck that
on
up,
the
you douchebag?
exterior wall of the porch, is that right?
Yes. Correct.
Two, like, carriage lights, I think they're
Cock
called.
smoker. That's
Yes.
what this dude is. These defense attorneys
there's
are
a
cock
light-
smokers.
Above the little entryway in the ceiling, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the lighting for that particular area, is that right?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Spector came out and stood toward the edge of the steps, is that what happened?
If you show me the picture, I show you where
Okay.
where he was.
Could we please get Exhibit 27?
God, there he is. What do you think about this wig, you son of a bitch? probably stashes his wigs in closets bigger than our houses.
The record should reflect that Exhibit
Fuzzy
27
Puss.
is now
Fuzzy
a
Puss.
projector.
Fuzzy Puss in the motherfussing house. Get in here. Fuzzy Puff, what's up? What's going on? Yeah, I'm losing my mind tonight just a little bit. We're rocking a little bit of a wig. You know, nothing crazy, man. Just a little wig action, man. Just a little wig happening here, right? I look fucking good is what I look. It's fucking dank-ass wig.
You recognize that same news?
Yes.
And do you see where the little white figure is on the, looks like just inside the line of the exterior porch wall? You see that?
Yes.
Is that where Mr. Spector was standing?
He'd be so
a little
fucking
bit
jealous. You
of that.
damn right he would be.
Around that
Son of
area.
a bitch. I don't know what the fuck I'm
did-
missing here. I don't even know what the fuck. I'm so wired up, baby.
Did you help make this diagram, by the way?
If I help to make,
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody ask you where was he standing so they could make this
well,
diagram?
they show me later, but I didn't help like that.
Okay, well, you're the only one that saw that, right?
So,
As far as you know, you're the only one that saw this, aren't you?
I think so.
So they made the drawing and then asked you if it was right? Is that
Yeah, after a while, yes.
Okay. Is it right?
Yes.
Okay, so what we have here is you're standing by the car door. That's you by the car door, is that right?
Yes.
You've got the two lights
you.
are forward.
Thank you, Akash, I appreciate it.
Those are forward.
No, Todd, I don't remember them.
Mr. Spector's standing, right?
Yes.
And the lights from the house,
Dude, I bet
they're
it's-
obviously
I bet it's
behind
crazy.
Mr. Spector, is that
I bet there's
right?
wigs he never even
And the
wore.
light above is above and behind him, right?
Yes.
Okay. There's no light shining directly on the front of him, is there? No.
No.
That's right. Okay. Now,
You start brushing my wigs.
at that point,
I just took it straight out of the
You,
thing. I didn't do shit to it.
you said you were 5 or 6 feet away, is that right?
The back of it.
Yes,
The back of it
that's
looks pretty
pretty
good, actually.
Tell me when I'm right.
Yeah, you're right. Yes.
Right here?
Yeah, a little bit closer. Yeah, a little bit closer.
It's about 8 feet.
Okay. And that was when you said you thought you saw something in Mr. Spector's hand, is that right?
Yes.
And that's when you said you thought you heard Mr. Spector say something, is that right?
Yeah, I heard. Yes.
Okay. Now,
Big G-O-G.
also at that point, you could see into the house and you could see the
Really here
legs
tonight. Love it.
of the woman that you'd known as Lana, is that right?
Yes.
This is all happening in just a very quick period, right?
Yes.
Once the door opens, you see the lights on her in the house, you look in, you can see there's some legs there. Is that right?
Yeah.
You move your head slightly or you shift your position slightly and you see she's got a bloody face. Is that right?
Yes.
Now, at that point, did you put it together in your mind that there must have been a shooting?
Yes.
Okay. So at this point, your you see an injured woman, looks like she's been shot, right?
Yes.
And you heard a sound that you
All right, I'm showing this. Jay posted this. This might be one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my fucking life.
A little chihuahua, maybe?
What
eating
the
a hot dog,
hell?
which is pretty ironic. Hot dog with a hot dog.
This cute little dog eating a hot dog right now. What is happening? He's wearing a little Mets hat.
time than he did the last
There's
time.
been a little more curveballs, but he has a small advantage, as you see our...
Get it! Yeah! Oh, it's hard to rip it off.
you now conclude that must have been a shot, right?
Yes.
Okay. So at this point, your mindset is there must be a gun here somewhere, right?
I saw the gun in his hand.
But based on those two other facts, you were expecting to see a gun, right?
Objection. Assumes facts, not evidence.
Sustained.
Once you heard the sound and saw the woman that appeared to have been shot, wasn't
That's
your
what I think,
mindset
yeah.
that
I
there
think probably
must
most
be
people
a
think
gun
that.
involved?
I saw the
Because at least from past testimony from some of the women that he did hold guns on that lived, you know, that's basically what was happening. They wanted to leave. He didn't want them to leave, and one of them was sexually assaulted.
gun before.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that's what was happening here.
Before I saw the legs, I saw the gun.
All right. That's what your memory is now.
Yes.
All right. Did you smell, when you were shooting in the past, when you were in the military, you fired handguns, right?
Yes.
You're familiar with the smell of burnt gunpowder?
Yes.
Shit.
When you stood there in front of Mr. Spector,
Probably
6 to
nothing.
8
Let's
feet away
get
from
her
him, did you
going. Let's light
smell
this
what
son
you
of a bitch.
identified or thought might be gunpowder smell?
No.
Mr. Spector just came out and stood there, is that right?
Yeah, with the gun with his hands.
Okay. And was
Oh,
he
nightmare kid.
weaving or using the wall for support, anything like
No.
that? Didn't appear to be drunk?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Not that hard to believe, but
Mr. Spector said something, is that right?
Yes.
Did he say it in a loud voice?
A regular, like a regular, regular voice. Was not like a. It was not like a screaming or.
Not
It was
yelling.
like when he was talking to me, the same voice.
Did he appear to be, in shock?
Objection.
Did-
I think even a layperson can use that as a descriptive term, so he can answer. I'll allow him to answer it if he's able to. The objection's overruled. You may answer.
You know the expression "in shock"?
Yes.
People have seen something startling.
Yeah, right
and
at the
they're
spot.
kind of in
wait, no,
shock.
that's a
yes.
bitch all
Did it
day.
appear to you to be in shock?
Yes.
Baby
You
drug.
previously said that his face was completely white, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he had kind
Holy
of a
shit, we had
dazed
this
look.
bitch for a month! Hell yeah, young black economist, let's go! That's what I'm talking about. Loving it. 1 month, baby. For a month. We ain't messing around.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
No, what? Because we
Just chilling.
just chilling.
Hold up.
Love it.
Hold up.
Everybody hanging out. Really appreciate it, guys.
Look on his face, is that right?
What do you mean?
Like not understanding, this shocked look. I can't make one, but
I don't know.
you don't remember that.
No.
All right. Now, there's some ambient noise in that area of the doorway, isn't there?
I keep
Yes.
thinking I can't hate
That's
the
the
next
fountain,
defense attorney
right?
more than the
Yes.
last one did. I keep
Fountain's
being
actually
wrong.
quite loud, isn't it?
Yes.
I keep proving myself
Could,
wrong.
You did a recreation of the event the next day, right?
Yes, I did.
And part of that was to walk by the fountain and listen to the fountain and place yourself by the car with the fountain in the background, right?
Yes.
Okay. Could we get that video clip, please? Yara, I'm not marking this as an event.
Shit, we got some video. Oh, this is them recreating it, I guess. Can you please relive this nightmare night for us, sir? That'd be great. I'm gonna record it also.
Now,
hot this way.
that video clip had you placing
Starting to
yourself outside of
sweat.
the car door where it was that you saw Mr. Spector that night. Is that right?
Yes.
And the sheriff's
sweat in
department,
this son
they
of
were
a
the
bitch.
ones that were videotaping this. Is that right?
Yes.
And the fountain, you could clearly hear the noise in the background, right?
Yes.
That kind of staticky sound, that's the fountain, right?
Yes.
And that's the sound it was making 16, 18, whatever, however many, 12 hours earlier that morning, right?
Yes.
Because that was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon of, actually it was a day later, I think it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon of the 4th.
Get in here, everybody.
But that's still the same sound.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And that was the position that you walked to show the sheriffs where you were standing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, your memory now is that Mr. Spector came out and said what? What do you recall him saying now?
He said, I think I killed somebody.
Okay. Now, are you Completely sure that's what he said?
Yes.
Positive?
That look. Fucking weird.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
Those very words.
Objection. This has been asked and answered.
I'm going to allow it. It's cross-examination. I'll allow it.
Those words and no other words, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, was he mumbling?
No.
You told us before that when Mr. Spector drinks, he mumbles, right?
Yes, sometimes, yeah.
And when he gets drunk, the mumbling or slurring increases, right?
Yes.
Your testimony now, today, Wednesday.
You got competition on
is that
Fridays.
He wasn't drunk at that point, is that right?
He wasn't.
He was not drunk when he came out to the porch. He didn't appear drunk to you.
Oh, he did appear, yes. Correct.
Did not.
Did not.
Okay. Now, when you first told the deputies about this, you told the first officers that you talked to that Mr. Spector was completely drunk, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. The next day, when you talked to Detective Fournier and Detective Tomlin, again, you used almost the same expression. You said he was drunk. He was very drunk as he came out and said that, right?
Yes.
Now, you're saying he wasn't drunk. Am I getting this right?
I didn't say that. He didn't appear to be drunk. I didn't know if he was drunk. He was not acting like a drunk guy
All right.
at that time.
All right. If he wasn't acting like a drunk guy at that time, why did you tell the first two officers that talked to you, Kennedy and
Thanks, Ronnie.
Pineda, that he was drunk, completely drunk? If he wasn't acting like a drunk guy, why would you have said that?
He was drunk that night.
No, but they weren't talking about that night. They were talking.
Objection.
Right.
Counsel doesn't know what they were talking about, and it's vague.
Well, I do know what
It's also argumentative.
The way that you can rephrase, you can go into the area. I think the question was phrased inappropriately, but you may do so.
Mr. DeSalza, they asked you
He's
to go
annoying
through
as
the
fuck.
event step by step by step, right?
So annoying.
Yes?
Yes.
And when you got to
Yeah, I
the
do
part
have to
where you
brush
said
it.
he
I
came
think
out
it'd
on
be-
the porch,
Might be. I mean,
you
it looks
told
like
him
a
that he
decent
appeared to
wig.
be completely drunk, didn't you?
Yeah, he was drunk that night.
All right. But we're not talking
I was
about
working
that.
hard.
We're talking about that moment, okay? You told the officers, the first people you talked to, he was completely drunk at that moment, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
I could see that too.
The next day, those officers went over step by step by step as to what you saw, what you heard, what you thought, correct?
Yes.
And those officers,
Actually,
you
it's pretty
told them
good
that
right
when he
now,
came
right?
out on
Like,
the
that's
porch,
pretty fucking-
he
that's a
appeared to
fresh
be
little
drunk.
look.
Is that right?
Right? Like,
Yes.
it's pretty fresh.
Now you're saying he didn't appear to be drunk, correct?
Yeah, he was not like mumbling or.
Well, that's kind of an important point, isn't it? Because at some point, did you realize that if you
gotta get
said
this
he
right.
was drunk
You gotta fall
and you
into the
said he
kernel.
mumbles when he's drunk, then that raises the issue of how accurately you could hear what he said.
Objection. This is
Yeah.
argumentative.
I mean,
The
I'll just keep
question is, did
changing
he
it
ever
up.
consider that? So, or become aware of it. He can answer that.
Could you repeat the question?
Look at the back of this thing.
At some point, I'm going to rephrase it and get up there. At some point, you became aware that what Mr. Spector said on the porch was very important, didn't you?
Yes.
And at some point, did you become aware that if you said he was drunk, completely drunk, that there would be an issue
Need some
of
lessons.
whether or not he was mumbling, whether or not he was slurring his words, and you might not have heard correctly what he said? Did you become aware of that?
No, but like I said, I don't know if he was drunk that night, but at that time she didn't appears to be drunk, but he was drunk. for
Well,
sure.
all right, we're going back to where we were a few moments ago. If he didn't appear to be drunk, why
Yo,
did you
get in here,
tell
everybody.
the
Welcome in.
first two groups of officers that questioned you that not only was drunk, he was completely drunk? Why would you say that if he didn't appear to be drunk?
He was completely drunk that night.
Okay, this is, we're not talking about that night. We're not talking about Trader
I've
Vic's.
always said if I go bald, I'm going full George Costanza. Full stop, full on, full George Costanza. Rocking
We're talking about House of Blues.
Embracing
we're talking about that moment. He's on the porch. They asked you, what happened? How did he appear?
I wish we
You said he appeared to be completely drunk, didn't you?
Probably I said that because the picture that you guys have in, when they arrest him, he was like a really bad picture.
But I agree. But you didn't see that picture before you made your statement, did you?
No, but he
Come on,
was like
James.
that picture.
Welcome in, everybody.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you first said he was completely drunk. You second said he was completely drunk. And it wasn't until you got to the grand jury that you changed that and said he didn't appear to be intoxicated. Isn't that so?
Like in acting like intoxicated.
All right, let's do this.
Head's itching, but I can't like release because I got like one of these stupid
Can we
weak
get
things on.
the
too.
Kennedy transcript, page 21 through 25 up there, please? Kennedy transcript, please.
This is what this dude's rocking in a
Yeah,
courtroom
page
right.
3,
This
line
guy
4.
in a court of law right now is rocking this essentially. Okay. What?
21 to 25.
Everything is stupid.
Let's take a look, make sure we have the proper context.
Thanks,
for
Jay.
that.
Appreciate that, dude.
Anyway, do you remember making these statements to those two officers?
No, I was like informal conversation with them. I didn't know that they are recording them.
No.
I didn't know that they were recording them, is what he said.
We both just went full
What
carrot
difference does
top.
that make as to whether or not you made the statement? You either made it or you
But I
didn't
don't
make it.
remember that. It's like, sorry.
And to Mr. Fournier and Mr. Tomlin, the next day when they talked to you, do you remember telling
Todd,
them
thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
about Mr. Spector's sobriety at that particular moment? Do you remember that?
Not at that particular moment, but I said that he was drunk that night.
You did say he was drunk, right?
Yeah, that night, yes.
But at that point, I mean, they're talking.
That would be the fieriest crotch, baby.
Fournier Tomlin transcript. I'm going to ask you to read from line 6 to yourself down to
Dude, everything is
line
stupid. Though.
20.
I'll stand by that.
And once you've done that, once you understand what
Oh, I could. Just do a
Really
little
there,
Bowie stuff here. There's so many other wigs I want. I want the mullet one, like the real redneck mullet one.
Yeah.
Now that's talking about the point where he comes out of the house, he's standing on the porch, is that right?
Yes.
And you look inside and you see the woman, the injured woman in the house, right?
Yes.
I definitely
And
see it.
at that point, you said he was drunk, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you're not saying that anymore.
Don't forget, guys, in the chat, we do have Navy Grogs, which is the drink of choice for Mr. Phil Spector here. This fucking weirdo. Navy Grogs in the chat now. If you want a weird plant in your drink. There you
Am I
go.
right about that?
Yeah, he doesn't appear to be
You
drunk, but
fucked
he
up,
was,
though.
yeah.
Like 5 different liquors
And
in
that
that
has
son of a
nothing to do with the fact that there's some issue about your ability to hear him or understand him when he's mumbling. That's not why you changed your testimony.
I know.
All right. So your testimony is you think he said, I think he killed her. I think I killed somebody. Is that right?
Yes.
Didn't you tell the Alhambra officers in that same conversation that you didn't know was being recorded, that the word you thought he said was, I think I shot somebody? Isn't that what you told them?
Could be, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like...
You could have told them that the words were different.
I guess it's
Is that
where
what
it's
you're
just
saying?
there's no air
Yes.
coming through, and there's also that mat
Well,
underneath.
if you have an exact
There's no air
memory
for-
of what was
can't
said,
breathe.
why would it be different when you say it different times?
Yeah, that's what
Objection, that's argument.
Staying
haunt
to
you for
the
fucking
form of the question, but you may inquire.
Well, if you know exactly what he said, and you think he used the word kill, why did you sometimes say shot? Why did you change that word?
I think at that time he was trying. They were trying to be friendly and have like an informal conversation. Then they asked me what happened, and I was like, I think they were trying to make me calm. And
Well, if they were trying to make you calm, your statement should have been more accurate than if you were freaked out, right?
but that time it was not like I was not at the small room, like talk to these
Adriano
two
de
guys,
Souls.
and the guys told me, look, this one could be recorded and everything. It was like, I think it was in the car, and I don't remember where I talked to them.
But does it matter where you make a statement as to how accurate it is? That statements in a room are accurate, statements in a car are not accurate? Does that make a difference?
It was like in the different words, but it was the same thing. When I talked to a friend about something that I did on the weekend, I could like tell in the different ways. But if you want like the correct way, I can tell you like step by step.
But you were asked, what exactly did he say, correct? That's what you were. When they were asking you about what he said, they asked you, what did he say?
I don't remember that conversation. I don't have the transcript of that one.
But if you responded what he said, you understood that they wanted to know what did he say, correct?
I told them what happened that night.
I'm not talking about happened. At this point, I'm talking about say. Let's focus on the words, okay?
Yes,
You said you were positive that he said, I think I killed somebody, correct?
yes.
And then you say, well, I also might have said, I think I shot somebody, correct?
I don't know if there's in the transcript, yes.
Could we get the Kennedy transcript, page 26, please? Do we have that?
Yes.
Page.
Phil, instantly. Get that man a Navy grog pronto, chat. Phil, thank you for coming in here, bud. Appreciate it. Get this man a Navy grog.
26.
I need another drink myself. Vienna Navy grog lager. Double backbone. I'm gonna have to lose the wig though. It's
You
fucking
see
hot.
this here, Mr. Pineda is asking, at what point does Mr. Spector say, I think I shot her? Mr. DeSouza, when she, I think you meant when he opened the door, Pineda, as soon as he opened the door, yeah. And then I got out of the car and, quote, I think I shot somebody. You see where you said that there?
Yes.
Okay. And you talked to those officers just within a few hours of hearing whatever was said, right?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Is it possible, well, at this point, do you know which version it was?
Yes.
Now you're back to I think I killed.
Objection, that's argument.
Sustained to the form of the question.
Is your testimony at this point, I think I killed is the word?
Yes.
Now, you told the officers, well, let me ask you this. Do you think you might have heard, I think somebody's been killed?
No.
So with that fountain in the background, with that, with the fact at that point you were saying he was completely drunk, with the excitement or panic or stress, whatever it would be, of seeing a bloody woman who's obviously seriously injured, you think you might have gotten those words wrong?
No. The words that I heard that like were clear.
But didn't you tell the
Sorry, I
officer?
didn't have to begin that.
Did you, Cindy, did you get that? Okay, do you want to read it back? This reporter will read it back.
Okay, no, I didn't get a response.
I think you might have gotten those words wrong. Answer, no, the words that I heard were clear.
Thank you.
Now, the next day, when you were talking to Fournier and Tomlin, they asked you if you were sure what was said. Isn't that right?
Sorry, if I
They asked you if you were sure what was said. Is that so?
Yes.
Remember what you told them?
No, I don't remember.
Didn't you tell them that you were not sure of what was exactly said because of your English? Remember telling them that?
No.
Could we get the Fournier-Tomlin transcript, page 55, lines 18 and thereafter? Let's go down to line 18. Okay, here it says,
Gabby, what's up?
Fournier asks you, and he says to you, what again? He says,
I'm glad you popped in. Thanks for coming in here. Have a good
I
night.
think I killed somebody. Fournier. I killed somebody. De Souza. Yeah, somebody. Fournier. Okay. I think so. I think. I'm not sure. Can we go to the next page, please?
It'll probably nothing. Yeah.
It's like English. Fournier goes right. Remember saying that? You're not sure what
I
was...
think so, yeah. I think I remember that.
Okay. Now, that was your best state of mind the morning after you saw these events and heard these events, correct?
Yes.
You told them you're not sure exactly what was said because of your English. Isn't that right?
Yeah, if it's there, yes.
And that was the truth, wasn't it? Wasn't that the truth that you were telling them?
Oh, yes. I'm trying to do the
Yeah,
my
like
best.
it's easy to spin stuff like that.
And I'm not saying you aren't.
Is this
but
what you were
the
saying?
fact of the matter is, because of your English,
Yes, but-
because of the event, you weren't exactly sure what was said. And that's what you told them, right?
Yes.
Now, at the same
Drinda, get in here.
and point in time,
Welcome to
when
Murder
you came back
Church.
out there onto the back porch, you said that
creeping in.
you
Hit the
saw
old light
a
skin.
gun in his
The old
hand.
light
Is that
skin.
right?
Yes.
And did you recognize that to be, you described it as a revolver at some point, right?
Yes.
And you originally described it as a revolver that was black, the frame was black, correct?
Yes.
And last week, you added that you thought it had a brown handle, is that right?
Yes.
That was the first time you told anybody about the brown
I
handle.
don't remember.
I'm sorry?
I don't remember. I don't know if it was the first time that I thought about the brown.
It was the gun was a 2-inch .38, is that right? Revolver.
I think so. I'm not sure.
But in your military background or in any other background, have you seen a small pistol like that in the past?
Yes.
Could we perhaps get a picture of that? There's no particular scale on that, but that is what you think you saw in his hand?
Yes.
Now, you said the other day that when he came out of the back porch, he had his hand with the fingers toward his body, or the second, third, and fourth finger, the little finger, the ring finger, and the middle finger curled up, and the index finger sticking out. Is that right? Is that how you illustrated it? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yes.
Bonnie, thank you very much.
Did he
Passing the
actually have
bucket.
his index
Hugs. I'm going to
fingers
get you on that
sticking
wheel
out
right
like
now,
mine is
Bonnie.
now?
Yes.
Former two-time winner Bonnie Bailey, thank you so much.
Was it along the frame of the gun?
Yes.
Over the cylinder? Yeah, you think he had his...
If you have a gun, I can show you, sir.
No, I got an Altoids can. This is bigger than the handle that I got in this Altoids can, correct?
Okay, yes.
Okay. So you're telling me that he had
One
it
name
holding
away
it
from the
something like
span, if
this?
I'm not mistaken.
Yes, like that.
Oh, yeah.
How
Thanks so much,
could you
Bonnie.
see the handle?
Somebody's going to win a shirt tonight.
You can see
I
it?
can
Just
feel
got the gun
it.
and I show you. Just got the gun,
Just get the gun
and I show you.
Okay, we'll try to do that. But in
Yo,
terms
Gabby,
of the
what's up?
finger sticking out, any idea why the finger would be sticking out or covering the cylinder?
I know.
When you saw the door open, saw Ms. Clarkson seated in the chair, you could see her legs and her feet, is that right?
Yes.
She was slumped in that position that was in the photograph, is that right?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, why don't can we put our next in order up? I think it's probably S at this
Your
point.
next is S. Do you want this marked?
Yeah, Sharon, please.
And it's what, a photograph?
It's a photograph of the scene.
Okay.
This process is fucking crazy.
This is the back door you're telling us about, is that right?
Yes.
And you can, it's very difficult to see, but do you see
Yeah, what's
inside of the doorway in the background, you can kind of see a dark figure in a chair above the white. Can you see that well enough to make that out?
Yes.
You see, that's the,
It's like really bad photograph.
yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to establish that you're looking through the doorway in that direction, correct?
Yes.
100%. 100%.
We have another photograph I'd like to mark T for identification, if I may. Now, you see on the lower right-hand corner of this photograph that's the door frame? Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this was taken from outside the doorway, looking in the same direction the other photo, when it was taken, but it's a much better photo, right?
Oh yeah, much better.
Okay. Now, that's the view you had when you looked in there, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you saw her bloody face, you saw her legs, you saw her feet, correct?
Yes.
Did you see what was beside her feet? Can we blow that portion out?
Where?
I'm gonna try to make it bigger for you. See what that is?
Here's a revolver.
With a brown handle, right?
Yes.
You can clearly see the brown handle there, right?
Sorry?
You can clearly see the brown handle, correct?
Yes.
Isn't that where you saw the gun?
Yo, Johnny, what's up, man?
Did you go into the house at all?
Yeah,
At
to
that
like,
point?
like earlier to drop the bag and the DVD. Yes.
At this point?
Yeah, definitely
You
come
saw
through
Ms.
Friday,
Clarkson.
Gabby.
Did you go in the house at that point?
No.
Gabby, if you weren't here earlier, we're doing a voting type show on Feral Friday. We need to figure out what genre of film we're going to be watching for the all-night movie marathon, July 19th into July 20th. So make sure you come by. Make sure your voice is heard. Thanks, Gail.
When you were looking at Mr. Spector's hand, you told us the other day you saw some blood. Is
A
that
little
right?
bit.
I'm sorry?
A little bit of blood on the top of his finger.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Have you always been sure about that?
I don't remember if I told the police before. Yeah, I'm sure about that.
You told the first officers that you talked to you weren't sure about seeing blood, didn't you?
I don't remember. If you show the transcript, could be.
Okay, I'm
If
gonna.
you say that's in the transcript, could be.
I didn't hear the last
If
one.
you say that is in a transcript, yeah,
Well-
probably I said that.
Let me bring it up and show it to you.
Coming through the old Cash App. Taryn Dusty with the $10. A wig fund because we need more. Effing hilarious. Oh shit. We got a fundraising currently for more wigs, baby. Let's go. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah. Let me put you on the list also. Getting on that thing. That's a spin. I'm pretty sure that's a spin. So we'll do that after this. We got about 8 minutes left. I think Taryn won a shirt already as well, so she could be in the running for another Publicly Buzzed merch item. If you haven't seen PubliclyBuzzed.com, please check it out. We have a lot of cool merch.
Sorry, I set it down.
Oh, I think that's a wheel spin. I feel like I'm miscounting, but hold on.
You see that?
Yes.
You see blood, maybe on his hand, but I'm not sure of it.
Yes, I can say that.
I think that's a wheel
So
spin.
the very night, within hours of this happening, you weren't sure if you even saw blood, correct?
Yeah,
Get the
correct.
wheel going here.
So what, and after that point, you were never shown photographs of Mr. Spector's hand. You never saw his hands again after that moment in time, did you?
No.
So how did you become more sure later when you were not sure at the time you actually saw it?
I don't know, sir.
Did you ever tell anybody that there was blood dripping off of Mr. Spector's hand?
No.
You never saw anything like that, did you?
No.
You didn't tell the prosecutors you saw blood dripping off his hands, did you?
No.
When you saw Mr. Spector standing there, did you see if he had any stains on the front of his jacket, any dark splotches?
No. I don't remember that.
You do remember seeing this light-colored
That's
jacket,
awesome.
though, don't you?
Yes.
We're going to have a
Don't
wig
remember
off.
seeing
Me
any
and this guy.
stains, spots, anything like that, do you?
No.
The other day, you illustrated the way you thought Mr. Spector was holding the gun by holding your hand about waist high in front of your body, similar to what I'm doing. Do I have that right?
Really close to the body. Probably like touch the body. Probably touching the body.
You think he's touching the body?
Yeah. Close. Really close.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You showed the deputies,
Yes,
the
that's
detective. The next day, you showed them how he was holding the gun, didn't you?
Yeah, probably yes.
You had it out away from your body, didn't you?
So I said, but I don't remember that.
Well, let's show
Jesus
the video, if
Christ.
you don't mind.
It's so brutal.
We have a gun in the front, and she told me, like, I think I killed somebody.
See how you're illustrating that? That's what, 4 inches at least from the body?
Yeah, could be. But, in my position, I was just like showing them that I was
Will.
like a
Full wheel, baby.
holding them.
But when you showed him the next day, you held it away from the body, didn't you?
They did ask me.
All right. I know where we're
They
at.
asked me precise.
Your Honor, may we just be allowed to finish his answer, please?
Yeah, Brewski.
They did ask me like
I'll do the
precisely
wheel spin
what's the
first. We're
distance
almost there.
between the gun and the body. or something.
Didn't they ask you, show us how he was holding the gun?
Yes,
You didn't do like this, hold it over your head, did you?
of course not.
Not behind your back, right?
Of course not.
You made the best approximation, the best illustration of how you remembered it from the night before, right?
They asked me, probably I had to go to under the door to show them that. But they just like asked me and I showed like the way that was like handling it.
You tried to show them as accurately and correctly as you could, didn't you?
Yes, I was not in the right position at that time.
Well, then why did you show them that?
that?
Why did you show them that way if it wasn't in the right position?
I don't know.
Did somebody suggest to you that you should say the gun was close to the body?
Of course not.
Then why'd you change it?
I didn't change anything. They didn't ask me the distance between the gun and the body.
They just asked you to show how it was held, correct?
Yes.
You showed him, correct? And you showed him it was about
Get
4
down
inches away
on
from
it.
the body, right?
Get
Could be,
down
yes.
on it.
Okay.
Fuck the attorney. Fuck the attorney. This is going to be so long.
Was that video clip marked?
This
as
is our
piece of
roommate, man. We live with
evidence
this
next in
guy.
order?
Adriano, can you please fix
I don't
breakfast in the
believe the
morning,
clip
bro?
has been marked.
I think it needs to be, at least it does for me. I need to.
All right, it's certainly available. We have it marked on the computer. It's just, I don't have a way to mark it as an exhibit.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll figure out a way to mark it later. It'll be you.
It'll be you.
You.
The letter U. He's like, you,
You want to
me.
mark the first
Me,
clip,
you, no,
perhaps?
you.
We showed two
Me,
clips, Your Honor.
no,
Okay.
you,
The first one will be
me.
you, the second one will be W.
The letter U.
You,
You.
V. Pressure. Can't handle it.
All right.
Is that actually what's happening? My joke was actually happening.
And this paragraph. Okay.
Son of a bitch!
All right. Let me ask you this then. When Mr. Spector came out on the porch, you asked him what happened, correct?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
And he shrugged his shoulders like, I don't know, correct?
Yes.
And when you were asked to interpret that shoulders up,
That's what
hands
she
up
said.
expression, you said it's like he did not know what happened, correct?
Yes.
Hairs are itching my forehead and face. Look at that little number, huh? That's a, no, that one, yeah. Uh-huh. Ginger Elvis. Uh-huh.
This, yeah, we've been talking about this
Ain't
for
nothing
half
but a
hour, it
hair.
seems like, maybe longer, it's hard. But
nothing but
when
a
it
hair.
actually happened that night, it happened very quickly, didn't it?
Please, God,
Yes.
killing me. Not
He
Adrian.
came
I
out,
like
you
Adrian.
saw him, you saw the girl,
Terrible offense team.
he made a statement,
I guess they're good. I don't
you
know.
asked him what happened, he shrugged his shoulders.
If the goal is to make the jury want to kill themselves,
Took off, right? That's the point where
To
you said you
escape.
panicked, correct?
Yes.
So what is
Brooklyn,
it,
get the
5
hell in
seconds,
here.
10 seconds?
Get the hell in here.
episode?
I don't know.
got a will spin.
Well, just
Happen in a
go through
minute,
it.
1 minute.
Comes out,
Yeah, probably 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
okay. You didn't, and at that point, your heart was pounding, correct?
Yes.
You, I think the word you used was that you were panicked. Is that
Yeah, a
right?
little bit.
Well, you were so panicked, you took off running down the driveway, right?
Yes.
And you forgot the car was right there, even though you were standing next to it.
No, Pete.
Remember you said that? I forgot the car was there.
Yes.
Get the hell in
And
here.
then you got down the driveway, and you thought, oh, there's a car. I'll go back and get the car. So, I mean, so you really were panicked at that point, right?
Yes, a little bit.
Well, it's a very frightening situation, isn't it?
Yes.
Correct? And it's hard to see and hear exactly what's happening when something is so frightening, isn't it?
Yes, sometimes, yes.
Okay. I'm starting another area at this
All
point.
right, this is a good time. It's noon. Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind the admonition. We'll be in recess till 1:30. The witness will step down, and we'll resume at 1:30. Thank you.
All right. Adriano, like I said, get comfortable. We got another hour with Adriano, and let's bust it out here after this will spin continues his testimony. We're going to keep going. But first and foremost, we are going to have another will spin. We've gotten 12 more names. Got them set up over here. So let's rock and roll, baby. Woo! Laura! Laura! We got a winner. We got a winner in the house. We got a winner. We got a winner in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Laura, any shirt on the merch store except for the Kool-Aid shirt. Any merch, get at me. Hit me on X, publiclybuzzed@gmail.com, whichever. Yeah, at gmail.com. Either one you want. I'll get one coming, baby. Boom. The winner is Laura. Hell yes. Hell yes. Yeah. Judge Dowhart has probably taken everything. I mean, we've seen him multiple times go off on these guys for being inappropriate. I mean, good Lord. Good Lord. There we go. Get the bears in the chat. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Winner, chicken dinner. Tara and past winner. Gail, past winner. There we go. Get those beers out. Is Laura still in here? She might not be in here right now. We'll have to remind her. I'm going to give her a liquor drink. I'm going to give her a hell yeah and a probably nothing. Hell yeah. Hold up.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Yeah. Hold up. Kelly Hill. Hold up. Am I wrong? Oh my God. Hold on. The controversy. Holy shit. It's very close. Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. Kelly. Hold on. No. Hold on. Oh my God. I think it's on Laura, but it's very close. I'm going to take a picture also. Taking a picture. Controversy in the streets. Okay, let's not riot. Everybody calm down. I'm getting back in my seat. Okay. I can tell. I see why you're saying that. Did you guys see that clearly though? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? We're looking. I'm looking. Nothing moved. Nothing is moved. Are we going? We have to do a replay shot. We have to do a replay shot. Are we doing a replay shot? We can go back and look. I can do that here in a minute. We're going to keep rolling with this. I do have to use the bathroom and get another brewski. We may have controversy here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh Lord. I mean, it's hard to see with the angle. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's hard to see with the angle, but hold on. My picture. Hold on. I took a picture. Like, here's the picture. If you guys could see this. Hold on. Oh my God, of course that's not going to work with the green screen. You can kind of see, but hold on. All right. You see? Am I crazy? Like, I don't have that. It's not focusing great, but you can see, like, the yellow is Laura. I'm just on a... Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. Let me get my green screen back. Whew. The church gets rowdy, baby. The church gets... We can do a replay. We'll do a Feral Friday replay on that one. We'll do a Feral Friday replay. Laura's not even in here. She's not even aware of this. A will of this. She's not even a will of this. Oh! Oh, well, Roddy's coming in swinging. Oh, God, we got to fight on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Now making their way in. Wow. It's a little clear. It's hard. But was Ricky saying that it might have moved from the first, like, I don't think that it moves from, like, it's on a very steady base, which is on a concrete floor. Like, I don't think it's moving around from me walking. Oh God, Gail's doesn't know. Oh Lord, Kelly Hill. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Seriously, give me 1 second. That's right. I'll be right back. We're going to review the
All
footage,
right,
though,
back
too,
on the
just for
record, the
fun.
parties, jurors, alternates, and the witness are present as heretofore. You may proceed, Mr. Brunel.
Thank you. Your
And
Honor,
if anybody's not aware, that is Judge Die Hard, a.k.a. Judge Bruce Willis. And, yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
apropos of the court's remarks this morning for us to identify the two exhibits, the
Yes.
clips, what I'd like to do is mark as Exhibit U a portion of the video, a videotape, and what we're going to do is give us a time reference on it. That's the most accurate way we can figure out how to do this.
Okay.
So, Ms. Manager, could you start 5/12/13?
It didn't
why don't
move.
you go ahead
I said that it's on a good, like this, it's not moving off the base that it's on, which is like this incredibly heavy and sturdy television stand, and that's on a concrete floor, Ricky. You can come in here and inspect that in person. I'll be right back. I gotta. Now we got more footage. All right, I'm gonna take my phone with me. I'll be right back. Which is freaking really catches me like, what the hell?
This position is everything right now. To the best of your memory, the position that the car was parked, that you front of the door about this 15 right there.
Appears to stop at 5/12/48, Your Honor. That's Exhibit U.
All right.
And could we do the same thing with Exhibit V, please?
And let's try it again. This one. And he told me, like, I think I killed somebody.
And that apparently goes from 5/19/40 to 5/19/49, Your Honor.
Is that actually a separate clip that can be marked?
Yes, Your Honor. We put it. We tried to get them on two separate discs. I believe we were able to do that.
All right.
And just so that we were certain that we had the same that were played this morning.
Thank you.
All right. DeSouza, did you review anything in this last hour and a half based on any of the questions I asked you? Anything that you testified about this morning? Did you talk to anybody or review any additional materials?
No, I talked to Mr. Jackson at lunchtime.
And did you talk about the examination that had been conducted this morning?
Yes, I told him about the video that we just watched.
Okay. And did you discuss anything else?
No, just the video.
All right. Now, you've had numerous meetings with Mr. Jackson and Mr. Dixon and the other district attorneys that have worked on the case, haven't you?
Yes, some meetings.
Could you give us a count of how many meetings you've had?
At my house, probably 4 times.
And what about here in the building?
Just when I had to go to the court.
Okay. And you were here last week, and then I think 2 days last week and 1 day this week, is that right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So you had three meetings recently with Mr. Jackson? Or the
Yes.
others? And then back in 2004, before you testified at the grand jury, you had some meetings with the prosecutors there, right?
Yeah, probably 1 or twice. We talked like twice, I think.
Okay, so if you had 3 or 4 now, 1 or 2 then, and 4 at your home, sounds like about 10 meetings in total?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And was there ever an occasion where they asked to meet you and you said, no, I don't want to meet you?
No.
Okay. And likewise with the police, anytime they asked to meet you, did you make yourself available to meet them?
Yes, always. If they ask me for like interview, yes, I said yes.
Okay. Now, do you feel that you have that you owe something to the prosecution for some help that they've given you?
No.
They have given you some help, though, haven't they?
Sorry, could you repeat, sorry?
They have given you some help, haven't they?
I'm not saying
I'll
yes,
take a break on the
because you
way.
have to talk to my lawyer about that. Like, he knows everything, I don't know, like...
All right. Your Honor, I have an exhibit that I've previously marked W for identification.
What is it, please?
It's, the document is a deferred action case summary. Your Honor, what I've done, and I've discussed this with Mr. Jackson, the original document that was produced by Mr. D'Souza has an address on it. I made a photocopy obscuring the address if that's okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. All right. And I'm wondering if we could use the Elmo on this.
Elmo.
Get this ready. We actually have an additional.
Before that's published to the jury, let me, I'd like a clarification or some guidance from the court. Can we approach briefly?
You may.
Thank you.
Pop open another
Put
one.
it in water.
Steve Weiser.
But
Need it for this son of a bitch.
do you recognize that
Tell me I'm
document?
wrong.
Yes,
You're familiar with the contents of the document?
yes.
And you, in fact, produced
Keeping an eye on,
a copy
on
of
everything
this
here for
to the
the
court.
new
Is that
wheel.
right?
Laura, I got you down for now, but we will double check that. We'll do some more investigating. Something else is sort of new. Most controversial will yet. That son of a bitch right there. Look at him. My wig was way better than yours. You're jealous. I don't know how he wears that day in and
I
day
thought
out.
I'd sprung a leak somewhere.
I also see why guys that go bald just leave the bald. I see.
Mr. D'Souza, this document that we had previously marked for identification as W.
Oh my God, the controversy.
Do you remember when
the
you first saw that
controversy is
document?
doubling. Kitty C.
No, sir. I remember I get the document, but I don't remember when.
Where did you get it? From whom? Who gave it to you, if somebody gave it to you?
It was an immigration duty. My lawyer gave to me.
What did you say before that? It was an
It was an immigration beauty. The immigration office.
I'm watching the
Yes.
replay right now.
And
It's hard to
then
see. I didn't have the camera set up the best.
The person that first had it was your lawyer,
I think so.
and
I'm watching it right now.
he gave it to you?
He has a copy.
Okay. And you read the contents here, is that right?
I mean,
Yes, I did.
And it says that there are grounds to deport you, is that right?
it is hard to see because
yes.
the camera isn't
And-
exactly on the little, not the flappy part, but the actual pointer. And I should have had the camera set up a little bit better. And it looks like the shadow is on Kelly Hill's name. But yeah, in all actuality, and again, it's on a very firm base, which is a very hefty television stand, which is on a concrete floor. Like me walking around is not going to change that. I don't know where
Those
still
grounds
going.
are, the subject is removable under section 237A1I as a non-immigrant who failed to comply with the conditions of the non-immigrant status under which he was admitted. That's kind of government speak for you were a violation
It's
of
all
the
right for
terms
hanging
of
out.
your
Appreciate
visa,
it.
right?
Yes.
You haven't hit that like back
And-
there. Hit the old like.
You first saw this document after the case had begun and you'd become a witness for the prosecution, correct?
Yes, correct.
And this, are you aware that
Oh my
there
God.
is
I didn't even hear that.
or at least was,
This
an
is- this guy
application
sucks,
pending with the Immigration Service to defer action on your removal? Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Okay. Again, to translate that to, understandable terms,
God, we're fighting,
the
guys. We're going to be
removal
fighting.
means taking you out
Oh,
of the
my
country,
Lord.
deporting you in the old terminology, correct?
Yes.
And deferred action means kind of what it says, don't do it while this request is pending. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
And the request not to deport you, that was made by the government. Is that, I mean, by the prosecution, is that right?
I think so, I'm not sure.
That's all I should know.
You may.
Hour left,
Put your
folks.
hand there.
Thanks for hanging tonight. Really appreciate it. Busting out the Phil Spector trial.
Reminds me of those old TV shows I was sleeping on. Okay, on the very bottom it says subject is a material witness and People versus the State of California versus Philip Spector. Douglas Sortino, Deputy District Attorney, requests deferred action for the subject. That you understand that to mean that the former prosecutor on the case asked immigration not to carry through with the deportation, put you out of the country because you were in violation of your visa, right?
Okay, yes.
Now,
Oh shit, Gail. Gail gonna gift out a membership here. She's gonna start the new will out. Appreciate that, Gail. Who's got that thing? Let me see. Oh, the Spitfire Dragon. Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Gail, and welcome in here.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Love it.
Hanging and banging.
Hanging and banging, baby. And yeah, Spitfire Dragon, if you haven't seen, there's some new videos in the video section that are pretty cool, specific to members. And it's something new that I'm trying to do that isn't going to be to the public. And yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate that, Gail. And I'm going to get your name on the will right now. Maybe Groves in the house. Get the Maybe Groves in the chat. Where we at? Where
that
we
you
at?
were subject to removal. Did you tell them?
Maybe
I was
Groves in the
not
chat for the
subject
new
to
memes.
When I went to immigration with my lawyer, they are trying to find a way, okay, to put me in this position, just like to guarantee that I will not like be deported.
Well, if you weren't subject to deportation, they wouldn't have to find a way to keep you from being deported, would they?
At that time, I was not subject to be deported. Nobody knows about anything that I was doing at that time.
Well, at some point, the INS found out about you because in the approximate middle of the document, it says grounds for deportability. And it says subject is removable under the section as a non-immigrant who failed to comply with the conditions of the non-immigrant status under which he was admitted. I mean, that caused you to believe that you were subject to being removed from the country, right?
Yeah, they made that document to be like official, because at that time I was still legal. I was a student in this country.
Well, when is that time? When is that time? There's no date on this, is there?
Yes, but you have to ask like the immigration officer or something like that, because I went to the immigration duty to make official that I was working in this country legally. Then I could be like
what is even fucking happening right now, dude?
They made this document. And they put me like in a situation in a deferred action.
Okay. Now, you just brought this one document to court with you, right? This one page is the only portion.
This defense attorney is baking on every one of these jurors being fucking racist. Like, what is happening right now?
The document you brought with you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Moving it up a little bit more so we can see. You see right above the signature line, there's a very small writing that says continued on the reverse. Can you see that? May I approach you?
Yes.
Directing your attention to the highlighted portion on this copy of that document. See right there what that says?
Yes.
What does that say?
Continues on the reverse.
Okay. You didn't bring us the other side of this document, did you?
Like I said, this is a copy that the lawyer gave to me when I went to the immigration building to get my work permit. Just like a copy, if they ask me, I have to show them.
Now, you're saying that you don't believe that you were subject to deportability, despite what this document says. Are you aware that the prosecution on December 22nd, 2003 initiated a request to the Immigration Service,
Those old
again,
laptops, how
not
fat
to
they
remove
are.
you, to defer any action on your removal? Are you familiar with that?
You, like I said, you have to ask my lawyer about that.
Okay.
I don't record the dates and
Well, Your Honor, may I mark this two-page letter as defendant's X?
Sweet
for
Lou, what's up? Get in here.
Yes.
I love your fucking picture. I've probably said that before.
I'm really interested about your beliefs about what the situation is. Your attorney, that's Robert Morton, is that right?
yes, correct.
And the original district attorney you spoke with, that's Douglas Sorrentino, correct?
Yes, at that time, yes.
Sortino, I'm sorry, I added a syllable. And at some point, within a month of this case being filed, Mr. Sortino asked the Immigration Service to defer action on your deportation. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware about everything that happened, yeah, but my lawyer asked something to the prosecution.
All right. Your Honor, may I publish this?
Yes.
Yo, Akasha 999. This is to go towards giving it to both. Oh yeah, thank you so much.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
First page of Exhibit
Love
W appears to now be on.
Let's go.
On
Put
the,
you on there. Second
overhead
name on the new
projector.
will.
First paragraph says that basically that the author of the letter is the prosecutor then assigned to this case. Case was filed in November of 2003 and was awaiting an initial hearing. Do you remember, did you get a subpoena for that first hearing, do you remember?
I don't remember, so sorry.
All right. In any event, you're identified as a material witness. And
Your Honor, at this point, I'm sorry to interrupt Mr. Brunon. Unless the witness establishes, and I don't know the answer to this question, but I think foundationally it needs to be established that this witness knows or received this letter and knows the contents of it. We haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Right, lay the foundation if you can.
Mr. D'Souza, I'm sorry. I thought that you said that you were aware that the prosecution had requested that the Immigration Service not deport you. That is, they defer action on your deportation. Aren't you aware of that?
I know that the means deferred action, but all of conversations between my lawyer and the DA, I was not like
I'm not asking you about those conversations. I'm asking you about what you think. First of all,
I think so.
you knew that there was something going on between your lawyer and the prosecution to keep you in the country, right?
Yes, I think so.
And so let's bring that back up. So as of December 22nd,
All right, the same objection.
It's still whether he's aware of this particular letter, the contents of the letter. He's aware generally of the subject matter, but the letter by itself is hearsay.
And he may be, I just don't know the answer.
All right.
Mr. D'Souza, have you seen this letter before today?
I don't think so.
You're familiar with the contents, that what it's talking about, the effort of the prosecution to keep you in the United States, right?
Yes.
All right. And so as a result of the requests from the prosecution, the INS has deferred removing you from the United States. Isn't that so?
Yes, sounds like that.
Okay. Now, in addition to asking that they not, INS not remove you, the prosecution has also asked that your mother and your sister be allowed to come to the United States. Isn't that so?
Yes, to visit me, yes.
Okay. And was that a request that you initiated?
Sweet Lou gifting out one. City Kitty grabbing that. Get the hell in here, City Kitty. Let's go.
Welcome to the party.
Oh yeah, give out the Maybe Grogs and the Brewskis and the Jays. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Thank you, Sweet Luke. Let me get you on this list.
That is, did you ask someone to ask the prosecution, or did you directly ask the prosecution?
I asked my lawyer.
Okay. So, and you asked him to ask the prosecutor to see if they could write a letter to get your sister and your mother here. Is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. In the reason that you asked the prosecution to write that letter, as opposed to you writing it or your lawyer writing it, was that the prosecutors have a whole lot more power.
And right behind her, going to give one out. PJ Wolf Wimmers, I believe, hanging out back there lurking tonight. First of all, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. And thanks for gifting that out, Jen. Hell yes. That's what I'm talking about. And Jen also gets on the wheel. Let's go. Let's go. Ring that bell, baby. Ring her up.
I'm telling you like it is, baby.
Loving it. Loving it. Thank you. Kaylin, what's up? Get in here. Get in here, Kaylin.
The individual, correct?
You don't know about the will? Ask about the will.
I think so, yes. This idea.
Okay. So, back as far as December of 2003, you had got, or you and your lawyer had gotten the prosecutors to intervene with immigration to keep you in the United States and try to get your sister and mother to come up as well. Is that right?
Yes.
Didn't you feel grateful for that?
No.
Or didn't you appreciate that?
I appreciate that, but
Okay. I mean, that's a favor to you, isn't it?
I don't think so.
You don't think that being put ahead of 10,000, 100,000, a million people trying to get in the country, you don't think that's a favor?
Pete, thanks for hanging tonight.
Sustained.
Assumes facts were very much not evidence.
Mr. D'Souza, you know that there's a long list of folks from Brazil, as well as the rest of the world for that matter, that would like to immigrate to the United States, right? You know that, don't you?
Yes.
And you know that as a student,
somehow
once your
he's beating
student
the other
status
dudes, and I
ends,
fucking...
you've got to go back home to Brazil. Correct?
Somehow I wish
And if you
that
wanna
fucking the mob lawyer was the main one now. Like, I don't know how that keeps happening.
come back to the United States, you got to get in line, right?
If you don't have the visa, yes.
Well, in order to get the visa, you got to get in line to get the visa, right?
Yes.
And
Oh my
so
God,
you're
he's
behind
still
all
on
the other
this.
folks,
Jesus,
right?
fuck.
They're already in line.
Who?
People that want to come to the United
Oh,
States.
yes. They're still there.
Yeah, okay. But because of the power of the state and the power of the prosecution, you got to stay in the United States, and you got to bring your sister and your mother up here to visit and be with you, right?
Yes, I'm here, but my mom never came to the United States. They didn't give to her the visa, even if the power that DA has. They didn't come. They didn't get the visa again.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's not unlimited, but it was enough to keep you
big
here.
dick?
You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in addition,
Bonnie Bailey is a two-time winner.
you asked the prosecution to get you permission to work in the United States.
Gotcha.
I didn't ask him that.
Did you ask your lawyer to ask
I understand.
for permission for you to work in the United States?
Exactly. My lawyer.
All right. And did you ever, Your Honor, I have an exhibit. I've previously marked Y for identification. Did you ever see a letter that was written? It's not up there. Mr. DeSalza signed it. Did you ever see a letter? Well, let me just approach. May I approach? Yes, sir. In January of 2004 or sometime thereafter, did you ever see a letter from Mr. Sortino to the Immigration Service asking for you to get permission to work?
No, not this one.
You saw a different letter?
I saw like a bunch of documents that they gave to the immigration officer in the downtown, but not this one.
Whether or not, you do know that the prosecution has asked INS to allow you to work, to change your status to allow you to work, correct?
Yes, my lawyer told me that they are requesting that.
Okay. And that also is a big favor, isn't it?
Yes.
And back when this case back when these events occurred, back in February of 2003, did you believe at that time that the prosecution, the police, that entity, the police and prosecution together, had the power to help you with your immigration status?
No, not at that time.
This is a long one.
Within a short period of
It's gonna
time
be up here
thereafter, you
into-
asked them to help
Maybe
you, though,
through
didn't you?
Sunday Murder
I did
Church.
not.
Like,
Well,
good
through your
Lord.
lawyer, you asked to have the help.
I tried to find a lawyer to ask them that.
Okay.
I tried to find like I talked to like 10 lawyers. This one that I have right now was the last lawyer.
Okay. Well, once you find one that can help you, you stop looking, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, but at some point, you became aware that the prosecution could help you remain in the country. Isn't that so?
Yes, for a while, yes.
Okay. How did you become aware of that?
So
How did you learn that? Did you hear that from a friend? Did you hear that in the Brazilian community? Did you hear it on the internet? And how did you become aware of that?
You know, I was thinking about that, but I was not sure, because when I talked to the lawyers, like I said, they said that there's no way that they can help you with that. Most of the lawyers, they told me that.
All right, so your initial state of mind was you thought they could help you, but you weren't sure. Is that right?
Yes.
And how did you get the thought that the police would be able to help you with your immigration status? Do you remember where that idea came from?
Yes, I remember like a few months after February 3rd, I went to the lawyer on Century City. He was like a criminal lawyer. And he told me, look,
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. You don't have to tell us what your lawyer told us. Just tell us what your thinking was.
No, but I'm trying to explain that. But
Yeah.
that criminal lawyer told me to go to the immigration lawyer and try to find a way to help me, right?
All right. So at some point you figured out that the prosecution would be able to help you, and you pursued that, and they did help you, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, my lawyer helped me with that.
Good to see.
But he's helping you by getting the prosecutor to help you, right?
Yeah, I don't know the conversation that they have, but probably yes.
Okay. Now, as a result of that help, I mean, this is important to you to stay in the United States and be able to work and, continue your life here, right?
Officially, yeah, helping.
I'm sorry?
Officially, yes, helping.
Okay. And aren't you thankful for that?
Yes.
Tips been
Doesn't that
trying.
make
There's been a lot
you
of people
favor the
trying.
prosecution side of this case?
No.
So when you have changed your statements from, for example, Mr. Spector was drunk on the porch, to Mr. Spector was sober or not drunk on the porch, was that in any way motivated by the desire to help the prosecutor?
No.
None of the state's testimony, Your Honor.
Well,
Yeah, that's just face. It's just
you changed it from he appeared drunk, completely drunk, to he didn't appear drunk.
No, it
I mean,
kinda changes. Like, I
that's basically how you changed that bit of testimony, isn't it?
back there.
I didn't change
Morphs
that.
his
I just
face.
like said that
Yeah,
at that
supernatural.
time you were not like a walk like a drunk guy or talk like a drunk guy.
Well, actually, you didn't qualify it like that. Initially, you said he was drunk, completely drunk, and you repeated it the
Yes.
next day.
Wearing
And then by the
Scotty
time you got to the grand jury, you say he didn't appear to be intoxicated.
Yes.
Okay. Those two things are the same thing to you? Completely drunk and does not appear to be intoxicated? Those are the same?
Yeah, I think so. The
Okay.
way that you were like trying to understand, probably not.
And any of the other changes, he walked funny, he didn't walk funny, he spoke slurred speech, blah, 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 he didn't speak slurred speech. None of those other changes were motivated on any level
That's a good question.
to
It's
help
good
the
thought.
prosecution. Is that what you're telling me?
Once again, that misstates the testimony.
Sustained.
Any other change without having to go through the particulars?
I think they'd probably been too much alike, right? They'd have been like
good friends for like a day, and then the next day they've been wearing on each other already.
Every change.
Don't want to be in
Did
each
you make
other's
any
presence.
of those changes to help the prosecution?
Once again, Your Honor, I believe it misstates the testimony that he's
The problem is you're using the word change, and that is, I believe, inappropriate. Different, yes, but it has a certain context and a certain understanding that I believe is objectionable. The objection was made, the objection is sustained.
All right, that's fine. When your testimony was different from your earlier statements to what you testify now, that difference, was
That's
any
insane,
of
bro.
those differences
That's what sounds like a nightmare.
motivated by a desire to help the prosecution?
No, so I'm here because it's the right thing to do.
I think the wigs I think the wigs have something to do with it. Like, what level of fucked up he is. I would imagine, and I have no clue, during the day, if his normal life, he probably, as he gets more intoxicated, because he was clearly an alcoholic, probably changed the wigs randomly throughout the day as his personalities would shift. I really would probably think that.
And any help you can get doing the right thing, you'll accept that, right?
Objection, that's not.
Overruled. I'll allow that. Do you understand the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may answer.
No,
You're not accepting the help you're getting.
no, sir. Yes.
You're still here, aren't you?
Like I said,
Your Honor, at this point, it's argument.
I'll allow it. You can go
Gail
ahead and
getting
answer.
one of them things.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Gail.
You're
Thank you
still
so
here.
much. Appreciate it.
They
Gail's
helped you
getting on that
remain here,
word
and you
again.
stayed here, so you did accept the help, didn't you?
Thanks,
I
Gail.
said,
Appreciate
but
it. Gail's an
right now
MVP
it's
up
not
in these
helping at all.
parts.
I'm
don't
like
fuck
stuck in the same
around.
place.
Buzz Nation legend.
They got you the status to get a job. That was helpful, wasn't it?
I had the job before I got this work permit.
The beers in the
now you
garage
legally
in the chat.
can get a job, right?
Officially, yes.
Before
I'm in
you
there.
officially
I'll
could
give you a
not get a
couple
job,
tips.
correct?
Correct.
So that's help, isn't it?
Officially,
Everybody
yes.
saw stuff.
All right. All right.
Except for Phil.
I'm officially
Phil,
done, Your
cut
Honor.
off. Phil did nothing.
Does the prosecution officially wish to redirect?
You little Alan Jackson here tonight. Everybody that has been patient and waited through that mess gets a little Alan Jackson for their troubles. Wow. Thanks for hanging and banging here
I'm not expecting to be very
tonight.
long with you, but I want to bring up kind of the last point that Mr. Brunon made. In terms of the deferred action, your immigration status, when this trial is over, you're still going to be facing whatever immigration action they decide to level against you, correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. That's quite leading for the
The
prosecution.
way it was phrased, it was leading. You may ask it in a non-leading fashion.
Sure. Are you aware of what deferred action means?
Yes.
Are you aware, what does that mean in your mind?
Is there like any action against me that like they're gonna stop that?
All right. Does that mean suspend it? Do you know what I mean by suspend?
Yes.
Does that mean they're going to suspend the action for a period of time?
Yes.
Were you told that that deferred action was in order to facilitate or to allow you to testify in a case like this?
Yes.
All right. And once you testify and that's over, do you get permanent residency?
No.
Look at that fucking
Do you
guy.
get automatic
Good
citizenship?
No.
Are you stepping in
Lord.
line
Swear to
in front
God,
of
fucking Crypt Keeper, dude.
what did Mr. Brunon
That
said?
is Phil
Tens
Spector.
or thousands
Phil
or
Spector.
hundreds of thousands or millions of people to get your citizenship?
No.
Are you stepping in front of anybody else to get a permanent work visa?
No.
Are you stepping in front of anybody else to get a permanent student visa?
No.
You indicated that you were aware that
They're the fucking same. They're the fucking same. Same live picture. They're the same. What is happening?
a prosecutor, previous to me being on this case, that another prosecutor had written a letter on your behalf to ask if your mother and or sister could come visit. Is that right?
Correct.
Why was that? Why did you want to visit with your mother or sister?
Sorry?
Why did you want to visit with your mother?
Hell.
Because I had to stay
Hell,
here.
let's
I
get
could not
membered
like
up.
leave the country.
New
Is
members,
that
go
because
check out
of your
some videos.
position as a witness in
Thank
this
you so
trial?
much, Gil. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Some beers
you
and maybe
ask to be
grogs
a
out
witness
there,
in this trial?
everybody.
No.
Probably nothing. I'm gonna give a boombox for fun. Thank you, Gil.
You were asked on cross-examination a couple of questions about your student visa. Do you remember that? This was back on Wednesday, Mr. D'Souza. Do you recall
Yes.
that? Do you remember Mr. Brunon asking you if your visa
Hey,
on
later,
the
Ronnie. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it.
actual visa had expired, if it had an expiration date? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. What was the procedure
This
that you
fucking guy,
went
look
through
at him. Jesus Christ. He hates life.
even after the student visa was expired to legally stay in this country?
If you want to stay in the country, you just have to you have to have like a I-20 update. Like if you go outside of the United States, you have to renew
Gail
the
don't
visa.
fuck around,
If you
y'all.
don't go,
Hey, if you don't have your memberships turned on, do that. Gail is incredibly generous. We have lots of generous folks in the chat, but do that.
you can stay.
Okay.
If you have this I-20 valid.
All right. Is I'm assuming you mean I-20, an I-20 form, correct? That's a quote?
Yes, correct.
All right. If you go back once a year to the Immigration and Naturalization Bureau and fill out this I-20 and it's approved, can you then continue to enroll in school?
Yes, the school usually do that. We don't have to do anything.
Okay, so there's a system in place where the school will set up the enrollment and the I-20 forms are filled out, assuming that you're still enrolled in school properly?
Your Honor, counsel is leading the witness at this point.
He's clarifying what the witness has just said, so I'm going to allow it to that extent. You can recross on it.
Well, it would be easier to hear what the witness says rather than what...
I appreciate that. I allow some leading if I think it's getting too suggestive, and you make the objection, I will cut it off. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. So is what you're explaining to the jurors that if you're duly enrolled in school, properly enrolled in school, the school will actually help facilitate filling out that I-20?
Yes, correct.
All right. And did you have a properly filled out, if you will, or a
The murder happened in 2003, and this trial is from 2007, Heather Moss. And welcome in here.
properly approved I-20 on February 3rd, 2003?
I'm objecting, Your Honor. Besides being leading, now it's calling for a conclusion.
It asks, did he, well, it's his calling for his understanding as to whether he believed. You can, go into it any way you wish.
That was the question.
That's the way I took the question to be. All right, the objection's overruled. You may proceed.
Do you have the question in mind?
Yes.
Okay, and the answer is?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Brunon asked you several times if you had had meetings either with other district attorneys or with myself or police investigators or anybody else, correct?
Yes.
Mr. D'Souza, did I ever tell you how to testify in this case?
No.
Did I ever tell you what words to use?
No.
Did I ever suggest to you what your answers to any question by Mr. Brunon should be or any answers to any questions from me should be?
I know.
What did I, in fact, tell you?
Just to tell the truth.
Have you been telling the truth?
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor. That's argument.
Overruled.
Yo, Jessica, what's up? Get in here.
One thing that you were asked about on Wednesday, and I want to follow up on that just briefly. You were asked if you understood Mr. Spector's words, if you had heard him speak very often. Do you remember that line of questioning by Mr. Brunon?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I think you, at one point, you imitated, as best you could, Mr. Brunon asked you to imitate Mr. Spector. Do you remember that?
Yes.
All right, I'm not going to ask you to do that again. But let me ask you this. Other than conversations that you had with Mr. Spector, when you were driving him these, 12 or 14 times that you testified you drove him, would you hear Mr. Spector on the phone?
Yes.
Okay, could you hear his voice while he was talking on the phone?
Yes.
Did you ever hear him talking to any guests like Rami Davis or Kathy Sullivan?
Oh, yes.
But not on the phone, but actually when they were in the car?
Yes.
Okay, so you could hear conversations because there was no partition between you and the back seat, correct?
Yes, correct.
Right. At that point, Even if you were, well, let me ask it this way.
Probably
Even if you were
so
not involved
serious.
in certain conversations, did
I
you
don't
get,
give a shit.
or did you have enough opportunity to hear Mr. Spector's tone of voice, how he said things?
Yes.
Did you have any problems other than when he was mumbling or didn't finish his sentences? Did you have any problems understanding Mr. Spector when he would speak to you?
No.
30 minutes left of this. Going to go a little late tonight, folks. Thanks for hanging and banging. Appreciate it.
You indicated that you had reviewed, before testifying on Wednesday, you had reviewed a couple of transcripts, I think. I think you said your grand jury transcript and a transcript with Detective Fournier and Tomlin, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Did those transcripts help you recall details about the events you're testifying about?
A little bit.
Okay. Are there certain details that are fuzzy in your mind?
Oh, yes.
Are there certain details that are very clear in your mind?
Yes.
I would imagine like anyone.
With regard to, let me ask you a question. With regard to what color shoes Kathy Sullivan was wearing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Is that a detail that you might not remember?
Yes, correct.
Okay. The color jacket that Phil Spector was wearing, is that clear in your mind?
Oh, yes, clear.
Whether or not Rami Davis had a handbag with her that night?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. I didn't go into this trivia. It's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant. In my mind, the objection is overruled.
Yeah.
You may proceed.
What type
fix
of
his
handbag,
shape.
or if Miss Rami Davis had a handbag? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Might that be a fuzzy detail in your mind?
Yes.
The fact that the defendant stepped out on the porch and said, "I think I killed somebody," is that clear in your mind?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Appreciate it, guys.
Mr. Brunon asked
been
you,
awesome.
Mr. D'Souza, whether or not
Yeah, every Sunday and Tuesday we do Murder Church. Every Thursday night there's a stream. I stream, pretty often. And then this Saturday we're doing a special stream. Excited Utterances coming over. Salvador Dali's coming over. And Mo in the Deep End. I think that's the name of the channel. Yeah, she's fucking dope. I watch her on a pretty regular basis. I watch all those people on a regular basis. But yeah, they're all going to come over and hang out and talk some Alec Baldwin Saturday night. Then Feral Friday, of course, is going to be a voting show. You guys do not want to miss that. Come and hang out. Appreciate it, guys. You guys are awesome.
when you let me back up for a second.
Oh shit. Suzanne Barnett, you need to get in here. And she's like, let's go. And she joined right the hell up, baby. Let's go. Hell yes.
Welcome to the party,
Love it. Gail's taking this wheel over, y'all. Somebody needs to get in here. Gail's like, this is mine.
You were asked on direct examination about Lana Clarkson indicating to you that she wanted to come over for one drink or something to that effect. Do you remember that?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Brunon asked you whether or not you remember testifying that the defendant, Mr. Spector, screamed, "Don't talk to the driver." Remember?
Yes.
And he spent some time with you asking questions about why you used the word scream and the fact that you did not use the word scream in your grand jury testimony. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Did you tell the original investigating officers that in fact Mr. Spector screamed and that you used that word scream?
I think so. I think I said that.
Do you remember clearly or no?
Not clearly.
All right. Do you think it might refresh your recollection as to what words you told Mr. Fournier or Detective Fournier and Detective Tomlin if you were to see a transcript?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Court and counsel to page 38, line 13 through 14. Okay? Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing that Mr. Brunon did. Just read line 13 and 14 to yourself, not out loud, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Does that refresh your recollection as to what you told Detective Fournier and Detective Tomlin?
He's like,
Yes.
And is it true that you said,
and you know Judge Dowhard is thinking about
and
that.
she,
man. He's like, man,
he
this guy
screams, quote, that's the he's the driver, end quote.
Over
Did you say
25
that?
minutes left in
Yes.
this video.
Okay. So when you testified that,
Coasting through.
in fact, in front of this
Phil
jury,
Spector
that
watching
the
over
defendant
all of this
screamed,
with his creepiness, with
Don't
the
talk to the
dual Phil
driver.
Spector. Tell me
That was
that's
the
not
first
the
time you
same.
said that, correct?
You'd be lying if you did.
You told the original detectives in this case, correct?
Yes.
You indicated on cross-examination that there were times throughout that 2-hour period from, say, 3 o'clock or 3:15 to about 5 o'clock, so that hour and a half, 2-hour period, that you may have dozed off or taken, I think Mr. Brunon used the phrase cat nap, meaning a quick little nap, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you indicated that maybe those were 5 minutes at a time, but you were not in a deep sleep, is that right?
Correct.
When you heard that pow sound, Mr. D'Souza, did that awaken you?
Yes, I was alert
All right.
to that.
That was my question. Were you alert to that sound?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, did you get up and move around?
Yes.
So you weren't sleeping right after that sound, correct?
Yes.
How far would you say you walked? What distance? I mean, we've seen pictures of the fountain. What distance is it if you were to walk around that fountain and back again?
It was close. It was not far. It was on another side of the car.
Okay. So did you walk all the way around 360 degrees around the
Well, why
fountain,
does
or
it
just
tag you,
halfway
Kenny?
around and halfway back?
Halfway around and back.
Okay, so you favored the front of the car. In other words, you stayed sort of toward the front of the car rather than walking all the way around.
I do not remember
Like it. There we go.
the
Now
really
let's
like a
know.
walk that I made was like a round.
Okay. And this was February, correct?
Yes.
Middle of the night or very early morning?
Yes.
What was the temperature like? Was it cool out?
Was good. Was not like it's not so cold.
Okay.
Was cool.
You weren't freezing
I was not freezing.
and you weren't burning up, right?
I know.
Okay. So when you got out and walked around the fountain
So
and
many
then
things
walked
we
all
got,
the way
Kitty.
back to the car, at that point, were you wide awake?
Oh yes.
When you sat down in the
7.
car and you shut the
5
door again,
names from a
were you
Will
wide
Smith.
awake?
Yes.
And
How
do not
long
forget
after you
that
shut that
the
Mercedes door, Mr.
Publicly
D'Souza,
Buzzed link
did
tree.
Mr.
I don't
Spector
think
open the
Venmo's in there,
back
but the
door of
Cash
the
App's in there,
residence?
PayPal's in
Couple of
there.
minutes,
Were you still wide awake when he
get you on
opened
there
that
as well.
back door?
of course.
And what was your first reaction when Mr. Spector opened that back door?
My idea is to open the door for Miss Clark, Miss Lena.
All right.
I got out the car and opened
Can we
the door.
just?
When you saw
Tried to open
Can we
the door.
tag?
I'm sorry, I
Can
didn't
somebody
mean to step on
tag
your
But I
this
didn't
in for
open
this
the door,
dude?
but I-
Reach for the
I got
tag.
out the car to open the door
My
for
God.
All right. When you got out of the car and opened that front door of the Mercedes, was it your intention to turn around and open that back door for either Miss Clarkson or Mr. Spector or both?
Yes.
When you stood up, was that the point at which you faced Mr. Spector?
Yes.
And once again, I'm going to ask you to point to an area of the carpet for me to stand on that shows how far you were from Mr. Spector. Point to an area of the carpet.
Yes. Over here.
All right, you tell me where to stand.
Yeah, that's good.
About here,
Yes.
Your Honor?
Oh, I would say it's about 7 feet.
All right. So from me to you, is this how far Mr. Spector was when he said, "I think I killed somebody"?
Yes.
Was this how far Mr. Spector was when you saw the gun in his hand?
Yes.
When you spoke to Detective Tomlin and Detective Fournier out at the scene, and I think you saw some video clips of you out at the scene. You were wearing a T-shirt, and it was the next day, correct?
Yes.
Did you have to yell or scream to be heard?
No.
What tone of voice were you speaking in?
I don't know why you need the screen
Like
to
I'm doing
prove
right
that
now.
point.
All right. And was Detective Fournier screaming so that he could hear you, or that you could hear him?
No.
Or was he speaking in a normal tone like I am now?
A normal tone.
Could you hear Detective
Cutler's like,
Tomlin's
that's
and
just how you
Fournier's
talk.
questions?
That's just how normal
out of the
people
scene?
talk.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Brunon played 2 video clips of the first. The cameraman appears to be close to the fountain and then follows you and Detective Tomlin and Detective Fournier back over toward the Mercedes. Do you remember hearing that and seeing that?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of microphone was used on that video camera?
I have no idea.
Do you know what kind of video camera it was in general?
It was a portable video camera.
Like a little Super 8, they call them?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of software, audio software specifically, was utilized in that camera?
No.
Do you know what kind of audio card, the hardware, was slaved into that camera?
I know.
Do you know what kind of software the defense used to take that audio file from the camera and put it onto their laptop?
No.
Do you know what kind of sound card or sound blaster the defense may have in their laptop?
No.
Yeah, Contra, he was the driver the night that she
This is
died.
argumentation.
I think we could move along at this point.
I guess it draws us to one point, Mr. D'Souza. Did the fountain sound, did the jurors hear?
I'm going to object to that.
The way the
I'll rephrase it, Judge.
All right.
Yo,
Well
thank you,
taken.
Kitty C. Appreciate it. Getting
I'm
a real
learning every
spot, baby. Nah, well, I appreciate you being here.
Did it
This is
sound
awesome.
like that video sounded? that
Always
night?
growing the nation.
No.
What was different about it?
It was so loud.
The video was so loud?
Yes.
Did the video reflect the actual
Church. The
sound
church
of
is
the
growing.
fountain and the sound
cult.
of the ambient
Ever
noise and the
expanding.
trees and the birds and that stuff? Did that accurately reflect that?
No.
Could you hear Mr. Spector clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, this dude called 911. Like,
You were asked if your
like the
testimony...
way that the defense attorney was coming at him was, I mean, silly.
Do we have the Elmo up? You were asked by Mr. Brunon whether or not you ever said, I think I shot someone, or I think I shot somebody, instead of I think I killed somebody. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And Mr. Brunon pointed you to a particular place in a transcript with Detective Pineda. Do you remember that?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember what the first quote you gave to Detective... Well, let me back up and ask you this first. Where was it that you were being interviewed by Detective Pineda, or Corporal Pineda, from Alhambra Police Department?
I talked to her in the car, outside of the house, outside of the gate,
Okay.
and inside the car.
Okay. So it was literally minutes after this event had taken place, correct?
Yes, correct.
Like how long, approximately?
Probably 50 to 1 hour after that.
50 minutes to an
50
hour?
minutes, yeah.
So what you had seen and heard that night concerning the shooting, okay, what you had seen and heard that night had taken place within an hour when you talked to Detective Pineda, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember what your first
Gail,
words to
$2
her were
Thank you, Gail.
about what
Appreciate it.
Philip Spector said when he came to the door?
I'm not sure, but I think I said, I think I killed somebody.
Page 4. Take a look at page 4 of the same transcript that Mr. Brunon showed you. You see the top line, D'Souza. So, and quote, I think I killed somebody, end quote, when I, and then Kennedy interrupted you. Who said that? You said, I, and then Kennedy interrupted again. Who said that? And you said, Mr. Spector, quote, I think I killed somebody. Do you remember saying that?
Yes, it's not like a fresh memory, yeah, but I think I said that.
All right. Are those the words that you heard?
Yes.
You went on to tell your story in more detail to Detectives Pineda and Kennedy, correct?
Yes.
Page 9. The same transcript. Further along in the conversation, do you remember again, describing exactly what you had seen and saying, and the first thing he told me, quote, I think I killed somebody, end quote. And then Detective Pineda said, you know what? I couldn't hear you. Come over here. He has to actually take your statement. So the first thing he said to you was, D'Souza, quote, I think I killed somebody. Pineda, okay. D'Souza, I killed somebody. Do you remember saying that?
It was not like I don't remember for sure, but yeah,
Okay, do you have any quarrel with the accuracy of this transcript or this tape?
Objection, we tried to stipulate that. It's irrelevant if he has a quarrel.
Your Honor, I'll withdraw the question.
All right.
Do you remember if the conversation went on after that statement? You continued to talk to Detective Pineda?
I think so.
Page 24 of the transcript.
That's exactly what's happening.
Take a look a little further down the transcript on the top. What did you see or do? D'Souza answers, when I saw her, I'm sorry, I'll start over. D'Souza answers, when I saw, quote, I think I killed somebody. When I watched inside, saw the body of the lady. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Page 25 of the transcript. And do you remember Detective D'Souza? I'm sorry. A long afternoon, hadn't it?
Your name's
Do you remember
D'Souza.
Detective Pineda saying to you, Mr. D'Souza, basically paraphrasing you and saying...
Excuse me, I'm going to object to that. That's argumentative commentary. The question speaks for itself.
All right, thank you.
Do you remember, and this is the next page of the transcript, Mr. D'Souza, do you remember Officer Pineda saying, at what point does Mr. Spector say, I think I shot her? And then you answered a few lines later, yeah, and I get out the car, I think I shot somebody, end quote. You remember saying
I
that?
don't remember that, but I could say that.
Okay. You also spoke with...
He's up here for a minute, unless
Well, based on that, Mr. D'Souza,
there's still a few parts of
it was
his
actually
testimony.
Officer Pineda who first introduced the word shot into that conversation, correct? Is that your memory?
I'm not going to object to that. That's leading, Your Honor.
He asked him, is that his memory? I'm going to allow the question. Take the correct out. Is that your memory, sir?
I don't remember that.
All right, he doesn't have a memory.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you spoke with detectives, Fournier and Tomlin, did you also attempt to be as truthful and accurate as you possibly could with your memory of what happened at the time of that shooting?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And I'm assuming that this conversation was maybe an hour or two or three. How long after your conversation with Officer Pineda was your conversation with Tomlin and Fournier?
Probably 2 or 3 hours after that.
Okay. Were the events still relatively fresh in your mind?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, I'm going to change gears and go to the Fournier and Tomlin transcript, if you don't mind. Looking at page 45. Do you remember stating, Mr. D'Souza, in reference to a question asked you by Detective Fournier, quote, and he was with the gun in the hand, and he told me, quote, I think I killed somebody, end quote. You remember stating that?
Yes.
Turning to page 47, counsel. And again, in response to a question by Detective Fournier, you went on, I think 2 pages later in this conversation, in this transcript, and said, quote, and I left a message there. I told Michelle, you have to come here. And I think Mr. Spector killed somebody. And please give me a call. Do you remember explaining that to Detective Fournier and Tomlin?
I don't remember explaining to him, but yeah, I said something to him.
Yeah, just looking normal over here. Act natural.
Mr. D'Souza, do you recall a few minutes later being asked
Nailing
to,
it.
again,
Perfect.
go over
Change nothing.
with Detective Fournier and Tomlin exactly what you saw and heard, and in response to Detective Fournier's question, what did you say? You said, and I say like, Michelle, you have to come here. I think Mr. Spector killed somebody, and please give me a call. Do you recall that?
Yes.
Were you referring to the message that you left to Michelle Blaine just after you got back in the car?
Sorry, could you repeat again?
Were you referring to a conversation, not a conversation, but a message you left from Michelle Blaine right after you got back into the Mercedes?
Yes.
Okay. Page 55, counsel. Counsel asked you about this particular page as well. Do you remember going on in the conversation with Detective Fournier, and in response to his question, and he says to you, what again? He says, and then you interrupted and said, quote, I think I killed somebody, end quote. Do you remember that?
I told him many times. I don't know.
Coming through here. Hey, your aunt said, hey.
As a matter of fact, you told him at least on 2 other occasions, did you not? Look at pages, I'm sorry, 74, 73 and 74. I'm trying to expedite this just a little bit.
Gail, thank you so much. If Gail didn't win this one, whoa, she's all over this wheel. Gail,
While that's
crazy.
focusing,
Thank
I'll just ask you, Mr. D'Souza, do you remember Mr. Tomlin, a little bit later in the conversation, Detective Tomlin asking, and what did he say? Yet again, you were asked that question. Do you remember?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Mr. D'Souza, were you asked what Mr. Spector said over and over and over again by Pineda, Kennedy, Tomlin, and Fournier?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, did it get annoying?
Yes.
Just before the conversation ended, were you asked, in fact, 2 more times by Tomlin, and what did he say? And you said, line 19, quote, I think I killed somebody. And then again, just a couple of seconds later, you said, and this is turning to the right. Let me move this to the right. On page 74, D'Souza saying, I was paying attention to him, his face.
That is trippy, Akasha.
Quote, I think I killed somebody, end quote. Then I saw the legs over there. Then I take this position and I saw the body. Tomlin asked, you clearly heard what he said? D'Souza, yes. Tomlin, I mean, there was no doubt. Then you saw and then you see the gun in his hand? D'Souza, yes. Do you remember that?
Yes.
As you sit here today, is there any doubt in your mind, Mr. D'Souza, about what Mr. Spector said that night when he stepped out of the doorway?
No.
When you gave these statements to the police, Mr. D'Souza, both to Officer Pineda, to Officer Kennedy, as well as to officers or detectives Fournier and Tomlin, was there any thought in your mind about your immigration status at that point?
No.
You hadn't met a district attorney at that point, had you?
No.
You hadn't gotten a lawyer?
No.
Your Honor.
You may proceed. Do you have anything further?
At this point, no, Your Honor.
Subject to what we discussed at the
Subject to what
bench.
we discussed at the
All right, thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Bruno.
he's still crossing them. This is going to go on for a while. Yeah, we still got 7 minutes
I'm just going
left
to
of
ask
this
you a
of
couple
Murder
of
Church.
additional points here.
He's going to come up here and punch him a few more times.
This morning when I played that tape of the fountain and the video clip of you walking by the fountain and talking to the officers, I asked you if that's as loud as it was back in that night, if the fountain was the same. Do you remember that?
I don't think that you asked for the if it was the correct was loud like that night,
Well,
because we what you see in the tape is like completely different.
well, the record will speak for itself, but is that what you discussed in the break, over the lunch break with Mr. Jackson or Mr. Dixon or somebody, that fountain sure sounded loud? Are you sure it was that loud? Did you have any discussion about that?
I told him that.
Okay. And you don't recall me asking you if that was the same fountain and it sounded the same the day after the event?
I remember that you said that it was the same fountain, but was not the same sound. So if you said that, like.
If you answered that it sounded the same, that was just a mistake?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I noted that when you were talking to the two detectives, you were standing very close, and if I can, without offending anybody, you seem to be maybe arm's length away from the detectives when you were illustrating to them where you were standing and what happened. Is that about how close you were when you were talking?
Yeah, probably yes.
Okay. So when Mr. Spector came out and said what he said, you were 7 or 8 feet away, right?
Yeah, it was like I don't know if it's the same distance, but it was close. It was not far.
And nobody ever suggested to you that there was any screaming going on at that point, was there?
Sorry?
Did anybody suggest to you that when Mr. Spector came out, he was screaming? Has that ever come up before?
No.
So you don't know why counsel was screaming here this afternoon?
No.
Speculation.
The answer is I don't know, and in any event, the answer will stand. Let's move along.
No.
You got the bail.
Prosecution asked you questions about what was stated on the porch. I asked you questions what was stated on the porch by Mr. Spector. And you've basically said two different things, correct?
I don't know. Could you repeat that?
Well, you told the prosecution the statement was, "I think I killed somebody," correct?
Yes.
You also said that you previously said, "I think I shot somebody." Remember that?
When I was talking to Detective Pineda,
Yes.
yeah, I saw that.
The judge right now is like, what?
Ignore the marginalia there. But you see in the highlighted yellow, "I think I shot her." See that,
Yeah.
line 17? It says, Pineda says, at what point does Mr. Spector say, "I think I shot her"? And then you say, "I think I shot somebody" down below. You repeat what you said Mr. Spector said. See that?
Yes.
Okay, and then on the next page. Sorry about that. I just see him in the door. "I think I shot somebody." See that?
Yes.
So sometimes you said killed, probably more times you said killed, but sometimes you said shot. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And both of those are not right. Only one of them is right, correct?
Yes.
Or maybe something else is right that you just don't remember.
There
Correct?
is only one thing, right?
All right. So,
What's up, sir?
and
Appreciate it.
you also told the detectives that next day.
I never even thought about it being a horn. Somebody else said it looked like it sometimes looked like, well, with the wig I had on, a devil horn.
The statement.
Hey, welcome in here. Glad to see new folks.
Fournier left out the "I think," or the "think" out of there.
Probably couldn't hear that.
Welcome to the party, pal.
You said, "I think so." I think.
Should I lose
I'm
the
not
arrow?
sure.
Is the arrow too much? I
It's
guess
my
the
English.
name would speak for itself.
I mean, that's a true statement that you weren't sure, correct?
I told him because
Wow,
I
chili
was
pepper
telling him the
horn.
same
Wow,
stuff all
no
the
one
time,
even
and
says
he
the
was
arrow.
like,
Interesting.
he repeats
Okay.
somebody like many
Maybe
times,
lose the
and I
arrow.
thought that he didn't understand what I said.
That's not what that says.
Objection, Counsel.
That's strict, and the jury is admonished to disregard it.
It says, Fournier says, starting on line
Which folks are
18,
probably coming in.
and he says to you, what again?
I don't mean that.
He says, and you say, I think I killed somebody. Fournier, I killed somebody.
That's the answer.
D'Souza, yeah, somebody. Fournier, okay. D'Souza, I think so. I think. I'm not sure. It's my English. And that's the actual quote of what was said at that point, isn't it?
Yes.
Home stretch now, folks. Thanks everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Amazing.
All right, thank you. Redirect.
Tonight.
Your Honor, at this point,
Yes, you may.
That's all.
All right, thank you. Redirect.
at this point, Your Honor, I have no further redirect except for the issues that I think we need to take outside the presence of the jury.
Yes,
Wow, interesting.
there's
I'm
been a
glad you are
request
talking about that, 'cause
that a certain transcript be admitted. It's 98
see it,
pages,
though, too,
actually,
so-
a recording of
I
the
get it.
transcript. I need to review it. I'll go as fast as I can during the recess. Ladies and gentlemen, the recess may be a little longer than normal. I am sort of a speed reader. I don't know that I can keep up with that, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Keep in mind the admonition. We'll take our afternoon recess, and we'll see how we're doing. So with that in mind, you may step down for the time being. Thank you.
Right.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Part 8 of Mr. D'Souza will be 36 minutes starting Sunday morning. Wow. Video 58. And there's like 230 of these in this one. This is a long trial. Episode 17 is in the books. Thank you all so much for coming through. We are still a couple of names short of a wheel spin. We'll probably get that Thursday night, I would say. Come back through Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. I imagine Dan will be here, Dan the Man. Then, of course, Feral Friday is going to be a very special night. I want to show this one more time. We're going to be doing a voting night here on Feral Friday. Come over. And, I'm going to have a lot of different polls available for people to vote on about genres. We're going to pick a genre to watch. And, hopefully everyone shows up. Comes and, hanging and banging, baby. We're doing the thing. Growing the church every fucking day. I see new names all the time. Everybody that comes through, hit the likes. If you haven't hit the like on your way out, please do so. Also, really appreciate it. Then Saturday night we have a special show. I'm going to get some more deets. I'm going to get some graphics. I'm going to keep everyone in the loop on that. Of course, tomorrow we should be getting some real... I know, today they had the jury selection, but I would imagine tomorrow we're going to have the opening statements. I guess they got the jury selected today. I didn't see that, if Dizzy's still here, but I would imagine we're going to get the ball rolling on the Alec Baldwin trial, so that's what we will be talking about on Saturday. Pammy coming through. What's up, Pammy? Welcome in here. But yeah, good one, folks. Thank you all so much. I love you. I will see you Wednesday. I won't see you Wednesday. I'll see you Thursday. I will talk to you Wednesday, I'm sure, in some kind of chat. Everyone have a good week. We're at hump day. Let's get the fuck through this thing. And, see you then. Later.
Nothing to see here.